Greetings, Wrestle Buddies, and welcome to the Wrestle Buddy live stream for the premium live event, WWE Wrestlemania Backlash 5000, the rematch part 2. It is going to be a very high potential card tonight. A lot of rematches from WrestleMania, a lot of good rematches from WrestleMania. Tonight I'm joined by the ever-present Drip King himself, Jimmy Bebe. Jimmy, how you doing?
What up, what up? Yeah, like he said, it's rematches, but I think the only rematches we're getting are the ones that kind of needed one. Not Seth and Cody, except for Seth and Cody. Charlotte, Ronda needed a rematch, and then AJ and Edge definitely needed a rematch. They need to get some shit going this time. But yeah, I'm excited for a few matches. It's going to be a good night. I'll be off and on with people.
And we are joined by my good old friend, the Captain. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, I am doing quite well, my friend. I even broke out the blazer just because I know we're in the presence of greatness such as the King and the one and only Tony Schiavone, my good friend Nick over in the UK. I'm excited for this one. I took a look at the card today and I was like, agreeing with Jimmy. Yes, this is rematch 5000, the Backlash of Mania Part 2. The Empire Strikes Down, but it's some rematches that need to happen, and I'm very excited to see how this goes. There's not really a dud on the card that I can see. I have been proven wrong, and probably will again, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to this.
What's up, Tidy? I see you in there. Timmy.
How you doing, man? There's only one potential dud match tonight, unfortunately, and it all depends on whether Omos can listen to Lashley enough. Man,
I thought you were about to hit up Charlotte and Ronda as the dud.
No. I think that what they've done with Charlotte and Ronda is perfect. Putting Ronda in an I Quit match hides her inadequacies in the ring perfectly.
Nothing ever goes wrong when you match up two big beefy boys. You know this.
The thing with Charlotte and Ronda is people need to get off Ronda's back. The girl's had less than 50 matches in her professional career. For someone who's had less than 50 matches in their professional career, she's doing bloody well.
It's not her lack of in-ring skill, it's her lack of give a hoot towards the fan base. And she just does not take this seriously. And she dug her own grave with hardcore wrestling fans when she let that stuff slip a couple of years ago. And me included, I'm like, Rhonda, you were given a red carpet entrance into this business, and you just all over it.
Here's my issue with Ronda is that the no selling, there's no excuse for it because we've seen her get her ass whooped, so she knows what it takes. She knows how to sell an ass whooping because she's had one, and she's almost as bad as Charlotte is. So that's why this match could be really good. It has all the tools to be really good, but it could also be no sell crap city. So we'll see. That's the wild card for me tonight.
The Drip King shows no mercy.
I show no mercy on Ronda Rousey at all. At all.
It should be a good one. I don't know though. Like I said, it's Cody versus Seth Part 2 that I'm looking forward to.
That
match was my favourite part of WrestleMania. Yeah, they know what they're doing. Seth is a wrestler's wrestler. Cody's a wrestler's wrestler. It should be fantastic.
Which is going to be great. I mean, everything AJ Styles touches is gold, and Edge still, I don't know how he keeps doing it after, as old as he is and with the Peyton Manning surgery and everything, but
does anyone else get depressed by the lack of sex these days?
I haven't had that thought.
I would like to see them break them out for like the 4 big ones. I don't think we need one for every show.
No, but I kind of miss the big swinging hooks at Backlash.
I think they could break them out for certain ones.
I was about to say that the big swinging hooks. You're like, man, okay, let's place bets. Who's going to get hit by the hooks tonight?
It makes a good drinking game.
Be right back.
No worries.
I would be
I would have liked to have seen Becky and Bianca as well again tonight as well, Tidy. It would be a good rematch, but I think they've got that plan for SummerSlam. At least I'd have that plan for SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, Vince, SummerSlam is the second biggest show of the year, and he's going to save some big ones for that. I'm just trying to, in my head, and this is a very dangerous game, trying to figure out just what Vince is trying to do here to build it for SummerSlam. You stay in Vince McMahon's heads too long, and eventually you start thinking like Vince, which is very dangerous.
Oh, Cody promo.
How do I get one of those jackets to wear for a WrestleBuddy show? That's what I want to know.
What, the Homelander coat?
Yeah.
When I find him, I'll let you know.
The Cody Rhodes coat.
I look. Trust me, I look.
You cannot find them anywhere. That's custom made, man.
Yeah, I ain't paying for no custom, but I go to all the thrift shops and I look for crazy nonsense like that.
I mean, I know a couple of tailors, but just the idea of what the bill would run me kind of holds me back from
Yeah.
Okay, I could probably get this done, but rent, cool jacket.
Yeah.
That's why you go to the thrift shops and just look, because there's got to be someone at one point that got one and was like, man, I can't use it anymore.
See, at this point, I can't go to the thrift shop without thinking of that song, Thrift Shop. And every time I walk in, it's like, oh, there's that song in my head again. And I was my
with the most nonsensical lyrics in musical history.
Yeah. I wear your granddad's clothes. Yeah, I'm starting to. Does Seth have to win tonight?
No.
I was thinking about this.
I hope not.
When is the last time Seth won a big match?
And that's what's crazy is he doesn't need to. That's how good this man has become.
Exactly.
I will say this though. After tonight, I don't want him losing his next few. He shouldn't lose his next few.
No, he should win. He should definitely be on the win end of his next feud. But right now, the plan for Cody is to be the guy who takes the WWE title off Roman. Right? Roman will keep the Universal title, so his title reign stays intact. But Cody wants the WWE Championship, not the Universal Championship. So you have Cody take the WWE title off Roman. You see if the Cody experiment works while his jets are still cooking. If it doesn't, you've got Seth in the background to come in, take the belt off him, and be a buffer in the meantime.
I definitely think Cody should be the guy that gets the title for Mondays. I don't know if he should beat Roman for it, though. Because then you still have Roman still has a title, but he's lost, so now the mystique is all gone. I don't know how you build.
He shouldn't just drop one. He should drop them both and not drop them at all.
So my ideal thing would be he just unifies them. We get one title, and then they just reintroduce something new. I don't want to see Roman losing unless he's losing for like the whole shebang.
Hell in a Cell. I don't know if Hell in a Cell would be good for him, Alex.
Yeah, because I mean, it's one of those
Right,
things.
Jimmy,
where
I'm blind as a bat, so please keep an eye on the comments.
They don't.
I'll do my best.
Cody and Seth don't need to sell yet. Like they don't need that structure to settle this yet. I mean, they're so good in the ring. Like it's almost like I'd rather see them in an Iron Man match than in a Cell match because a Cell is just like.
You got to think Cody is just licking his lips trying to get in that Cell though.
Yeah.
He's like, if I'm going to be able to bleed in any match in WWE, it's going to be a Hell in a Cell.
They're going to let me bleed.
He would do a Dusty Rhodes level blade job.
I think he takes, and he doesn't need to with the scar tissue on his head cap.
One nice chair shot, and he's good to go.
And we're starting with the best match.
I was actually thinking, man, Seth Rollins is kind of becoming the Randy Savage of this era because he's got so many different outfits, and I love it. But I love this, whatever this.
The drip god Seth Rollins. He's the drip god Seth Rollins.
When he was promoting the Stone Cold Skull sessions, he listed his four the drip foundation, the drip god Mount Rushmore. And he had Macho Man as the originator, so he gave the nod to him. He knows it.
Nice.
Well, hey, I have absolutely no problem with that. Savage isn't on my Mount Rushmore, but he would be close.
He just got bumped off mine.
Sting, Shawn, Brett, Jericho.
Andre, Flair, Hulk, Austin.
Becky versus Bianca, SummerSlam, I believe so. Asuka can fight Rhea next. No, Becky, Bianca, done. Timmy, they done. We don't need to see that one for a minute.
I think they might do the rematch at SummerSlam.
I don't think so. If they're gonna do another Becky Bianca, it just makes sense to do it at Hell in a Cell, because that's a Hell in a Cell level feud.
Considering how long they've been feuding, yeah, that works.
That one works for me. We're doing 2 Hell in a Cell matches. My choice is AJ Edge if AJ wins tonight, and
AJ has
Becky,
to win tonight,
and then Becky and Bianca. The only problem is they're both Raw, and I don't know if they'll do that.
I want the belt on Rhea Ripley so bad.
I think Bianca and Rhea Ripley should be SummerSlam.
Cool, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
And here comes the American Nightmare himself.
Go, Pat.
So they're in Providence, Rhode Island tonight. Kind of an odd location for a.
Yeah, I didn't
Rhode Island is not
Dusty
the biggest,
Rhodes country, though.
you know. Huh?
It's Dusty Rhodes country, though.
Rhode Island? How so?
It's just called Rhode Island, therefore it's Dusty Rhodes country. I'm English, I don't know anything.
There's no true answer to that one.
I'm British, therefore sarcasm is in my nature.
I mean, granted, I'm the biggest Monty Python fan on this side of the pond, but yeah, very good. I should have caught that one.
Have you ever watched Fawlty Towers?
Oh yeah,
Good,
very
man.
good. And I hate how people in the States call it Python. No, it's Python. Monty Python.
Python.
Not Python.
No, it's Monty Python.
It's Monty Python's Flying Circus.
This is going to be good.
Oh,
Anybody remember the last time Seth wore the same ring gear twice?
Nope.
Was that the white gear?
I don't know. I honestly can't remember, but he's wearing the same gear he wore at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's wearing the Mania gear. It might be. I think he wore the white gear twice, and then Vince told him to never wear it again. Because he wore it in the title. He wore it in the double title match against John Cena, and then I think he wore it in the match where Sting got hurt.
Okay.
I apologize in advance for the nasal issues. It's Arkansas, and it's the height of allergy season here.
I hear you.
Oh.
Allergies are killing everybody here in Florida.
Whereabouts are you in Florida?
The Panhandle.
Panhandle? Okay. I've never spent any time in the Panhandle. I've been down in like Orlando, Miami area, but I've never been in the Panhandle.
You ain't missing anything. Unless you were here for spring break, you ain't missing anything.
I always call the Florida Panhandle is just South Georgia. Let's be honest here.
They say where I'm at, they call it L.A., Lower Alabama.
Okay, that'll work too.
Woo.
Oh.
Seth's so good. Just the little things that a lot of guys don't do anymore, Seth does. I think that's one of the reasons Cody probably likes working with him.
Well, I mean, because Cody does those things. It's one of those match made in heaven, no pun intended, but they just work.
Anybody
so well
watch? Either of you watch the Broken Skull sessions with him? Yeah, I just finished watching it before the show. Really good.
Every time I hear Cody talk, I like him more and more. The way he just presents himself is so good. You can't not like the guy when you hear him talk. You just can't. Yeah. He's such a likable person.
And he's such a pro.
Yeah.
He's just such a professional at all times.
The piece I like the most is the when he was talking about being because when he every time a new person came to AEW, it was like he was the guy that feuded with the person and was like, man, this kind of They just kept doing the same thing over and over again. It's why they keep doing this. And then that was one of the things he said that I don't like that. I don't want to be that. And it's like, it's nice to hear like he's having the same issues that we were having with me. The AEW was doing is like
with the way it was being booked.
You're using them the wrong way completely.
Well, I think, and I'm a fan of AEW. You know, I'm a fan of AEW.
Me too. 100%.
But I think a large part of the problem they have is Tony Khan.
Yep.
Vince is a promoter that has been doing this job for 60 years nearly in his own lifetime. And Tony Khan is not. He's literally just taken the reins of now 2 major professional wrestling promotions. That's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work of managing a wrestling company is not the same as a football team.
No.
It is.
Well, he sucks at. I don't know about his football team over there, but his football team in America, the American football team, worst.
I think that's more his dad.
In the country.
No. Fulham. I think it's Fulham FC owns over it. They suck as well, dude.
Okay.
They don't win anything. They've got a nice stadium, but they don't win anything.
The one thing I'll defend on Tony Khan is I think the booking has gotten better since he supposedly kind of pushed the Young Bucks and Omega out of so much control. I think the booking has gotten better since he's taken more control. He just still needs to learn little things. He needs to stop catering to making everyone happy. He's got to piss the fans off sometimes. Like if you don't piss the fans off, then there's no reason for them to be like invested in something. It's like, oh, I'm always going to get what I want. Like, whatever. Who cares?
Well, I think a large part of Cody's problem in AEW, when everyone was booing him for no reason whatsoever, was the fans had decided we want him to turn heel.
Yeah.
Tony Khan had given the fans what they wanted so often that they literally, the fan base thought, oh, well, we want this to happen, so if we want this enough, Tony Khan will just do it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Cody wasn't willing to do it, and Cody was right not to do it. A lot of people want to see him turn heel, but he's got such legs in him as a babyface. He's probably the best pure babyface in wrestling. Like, it's very difficult to, other than maybe,
I'll give him the second best. I think Bianca Belair is the best babyface in wrestling.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, Bianca's fantastic.
Yeah. But I love that they just took Cody, they didn't change nothing, brought him on here, and he's the biggest babyface of the biggest company. I love how it's like, you guys completely whiffed on what you had.
Well, I said to the Cap before we went on air, I don't think a lot of people realise just how big a shot Cody signing with these guys is to AEW.
Absolutely.
It's the first time Vince officially acknowledged them. And he acknowledged them by taking their major EVP. The most important EVP of the 4.
And on top of that, all those people that everyone thinks WWE wants, MJF, Wardlow, Jade Cargill, Cody has ties to all of them. Ricky Starks, there's ties to all of them with Cody.
Every
so
single one.
It's like, that was a brilliant move.
As I say, you don't think the way they presented him, they brought him in exactly as he wanted.
Yeah.
He is just the American Nightmare transplanted from one company to another. You're telling me that doesn't make the top guys in AEW that maybe don't like the way things are going go, oh, maybe it's an option now?
They might not have been thinking about it a few weeks ago, but now they're like, hold on, let me go ahead and keep track of what's going on here.
Yeah.
Well, isn't MJF under contract for like another 3-4 years?
2024.
Oh, 24?
24. That's why he's been doing the tag slogan of a bidding war in 2024.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. But it's like early 2024, isn't it? Like January?
Yes, it is.
So he's literally.
I think it's literally 2 weeks after their last pay-per-view of the year.
Okay, so it's like, because I think January 1st is when he's a free agent. I think that's what we're saying.
Talk about potential Royal Rumble entrant 2020.
If they could keep it under wraps, man, that would be.
Oof.
You can't keep hardly anything under wraps these days.
If someone can do it, I think MJF can pull it off. Because he's never not in character. He takes this shit so seriously.
Which is the reason I love him so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need more guys like that.
So if there was a way for it to happen, I think MJF can do it, but we'll see. Because that would be crazy.
Can you think of anyone who stays, like, in the history of wrestling, who stays in character more than MJF? Like, in other, I mean, Savage, Haku, the original Sheik. I mean, it's a pretty short list of guys that just never. I mean, Terry Funk stayed in character all the time, but that's because he was Terry Funk.
There was no character.
Yeah, that was
Terry Funk is just Terry Funk.
I am really liking this match. They are working this. It's a nice pace.
Oh, Bret Hart turnbuckle bump. I love it.
Oh, you're a little bit ahead of me then.
Yeah, he's on the network. We're on Peacock.
The sternum.
Right. I'll try not to do that.
You're good, man. I'm fully aware that it's going to happen. That's why at the Rumble, it was almost like a blessing in disguise that my stuff went out. Because that's like the one pay-per-view I don't want to be spoiled on.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
All y'all were like 3-4 seconds ahead of me as I was like, man.
We tried syncing up so many times with each other as well that night. It was just ridiculous.
I was at the Rumble with Maddie, and he was taking some video here and there. He was like a row behind me, I think. And it was like, man, how cool would it be if it was like in real time and no delay?
Look at that face. Such a good seller.
He almost looks, when you cover up the hair, he looks really weird.
What are you going for?
That's headbutt.
Which one? It's Seth Rollins, it's Cody Rhodes. Who are you going for? You're going for Cody Rhodes.
Good lad. The Drip Prince is correct.
That's the Drip Princess.
Sorry, the Drip Princess.
Yeah,
I apologize.
She's actually getting more into it than the Drip Prince.
It's all right. They will both learn the ways eventually, Jimmy.
How weird is it that among the three of us, the one guy who we recognize as pure royalty is not in England?
I tried to move there once.
Don't, dude. The weather sucks.
I don't mind. I don't man. I live in Florida and I hate it with a passion. It's so bad.
Move to Scotland, you get all 4 seasons every day of the year.
I in Florida, it can be like 60 in the morning, which isn't that cold, but when you're Florida-tized, it becomes a little bit brisk. But then 2 hours later, it's 105.
With high humidity.
The highest humidity in the country.
And you literally become the Drip King because you are dripping.
Yeah. Cody can finally be the star and not the star maker. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more. That was the other thing that always annoyed me in AEW. Everyone was comparing him to Triple H because he was burying people.
No, he wasn't.
He lost twice as many matches as he won.
Yep.
The reason he won the TNT title 3 times is because he was legit the only decent option. And he couldn't win the world title because of his own stupid stipulation.
I'll be honest, I don't understand the reason for the last TNT title win. It didn't make sense to me.
The one off Sammy? No.
Yeah. Why do that?
It seemed pointless.
Especially when you're going to be out of contract in like 5 days after he won it. It's like, what's the point of that? It was so weird.
Either that or it was Tony Khan going, look, we'll give you a title. Stay.
Like, I don't want that damn piss-ass title.
Oh, the one I want, I can't have.
That was kind of where you saw Dusty Rhodes' career as an in-ring performer start to tilt when he became TV champion. If you remember, I can't remember exactly, was it like 86, 87, whenever he became TV champion and his, in-ring career started to fizzle.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, good clothesline.
But had Cody stayed in AEW, the heel turn was right there for him, for MJF and him to have a program.
Yeah.
He could have used his EVP power, took the belts off MJF, the double turn. People would have, the sympathy for MJF would have been there. I didn't catch that comment. Sorry, buddy.
Hang on, I got him down here. I just have to do this.
Can we pull him up on this thing?
The ship has sailed, but Cody
There
should
it is.
turn heel and challenge for the world title. 1, 2,
That's what I was saying, Zane.
Yeah.
See, Zane's not completely dumb. He has good ideas from time to time.
Occasionally.
It's usually when he's off camera, though. When he's on camera, he's just making a fool of himself.
And that or his internet just cuts out every time he starts to speak in a sentence.
The internet is saving him. Humiliation.
So thanks to everyone that's joined us tonight. Really appreciate it. Anyone that's watching, thank you. God bless. Please do give us a subscribe if you could. That'd be amazing for the channel. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm kind of notices us.
Honestly, if you like good wrestling content, there's no reason you shouldn't be following us there's no reason.
Yeah.
Go to the website, make it your homepage. It's got fantastic articles every day.
Especially if you don't like the negativity. I don't think there's a negative thing we've done yet. So
there's no tribalism here. There's no negativity here. We are all just people that love wrestling for wrestling's sake.
The best thing to keep me positive is to never mention Kenny Omega. Other than that, I can be pretty positive.
Just don't mention the Young Bucks around me, and it's the same way.
Well, I sort of tie those three in together. They're like
saying don't mention Mako Satomura around me.
Or mention a certain guy around Andy. He's he'll mute you for that.
Oh, Goldberg. Look what I'm getting away with, Andy.
We don't talk about Gorg here.
Gorg. I know I've seen a lot of Cody Rhodes matches, but I'm always surprised. As big a guy as he is, just how quick and limber he is.
Yeah.
Cody's fantastic.
He does not look like the kind of guy that can move the way he does.
No.
Right. Well, Dustin,
he can
move really well.
Cody
is bigger than Cody.
Yeah, the thing is, though, Cody more than Dustin has Dusty's frame. If you packed a load of weight on Cody, he'd look just like Dusty.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's like he's got Dusty's frame, and that frame doesn't look like it should be an agile frame.
Yeah.
But
he almost looks like he'd be robotic.
And even Dusty, as big as he was, could move.
Oh, yeah.
Days.
Dusty was great.
He was not a stationary, brick. He could, flip, flop, and fly, baby.
Bro, someone needs to hit this pedigree.
Or Tiger Drive it, depending on which way it goes.
Hit it.
Where are you up to?
I'm at Seth is running him into the ropes with the high knees. I'm not that far behind you.
Tell me when you get to the powerbomb in the corner.
Right now, he just did it.
Oh. Buckle buster.
Seth on top rope. Frog splash.
Boom, right here.
There we go.
Oh.
I would love to see Seth hit the pedigree on Cody, and then Cody just no-sell it like Warrior. Not today.
Boom, baby, not today. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And just, I know everyone always praises Montez for the height he gets on these frog splashes. Bro, Seth almost rivals it sometimes. That one there was so high.
Seth's frog splash is very much like Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Whereas Montez is very much like Rob Van Dam.
Agreed.
Just on acid because he.
Yeah.
It's unreal how high Montez gets.
Nah, it's insane. One of these days he's going to break his ribs on impact just because he goes too high.
How he hasn't hurt anybody beyond me. Because it's like
he's going for the Phoenix Splash.
He's missing it. He's never hitting this.
No. It's like Vader doing the moonsault. Oh, super kick. Down goes Seth. Oh, Cody is blowed up.
Cody's taking too long. Superplex coming.
Caught him on the rope.
Cody's gonna reverse it. No, he didn't. Yeah, he is. There it is. I knew it.
Oh
no!
Rope
Wow!
break.
Yes.
Rope break.
It's
Knew that was coming. He was way too close to the ropes. And when was the last time Cody won a match with one crossroads? In his debut, he did 4.
You have to cross the road more than once to win it with that. Which makes you think, why doesn't he switch maneuvers? Because it's like, if it takes him so many to put a guy out with, get a better finisher, man.
That's
like an old.
That's just one of the problems with wrestling today. Everybody be kicking out everybody's finishers.
Yeah. That's why I appreciate the RKO. Very few people kick out of the RKO.
It infuriates me to no end when Damian Priest hits the outsider's edge, razor's edge, whatever you want to call it. And it's just a signature move. It ain't even a finisher. It's like, what the?
It's ridiculous.
It's like one of the coolest moves ever made.
Ever done. Scott Hall never hit it unless he was going to win a match with it.
It's absolutely,
He'd go for it and let it get reversed with the backdrop over the ropes, but he'd never hit it unless he was going to win a match. And I think that should be the thing with your finish. Never hit it unless you're going to win with it.
Like big matches at Mania, like I get it because you're selling the fact that it's a major moment and you're really wanting to give everything you got. Here it comes, baby. No sell.
Got him.
Pedigree. 1, 2. Oh!
But outside of those major moments like that, I don't think it should ever be getting kicked out of. I think it's absolutely silly. Especially when some of them do it at like 1. It's like, come on, bro.
Protect the finishers.
It's like everyone got pissed off because Baron Corbin's finish got kicked out of by Drew. It was Mania. They had to have somebody kick out of the finish. Drew was never losing that match.
No. That would make me mad, bro. That would make me so mad.
Corbin, like him as I do, you can't have him beat McIntyre at Mania. It wouldn't work.
I don't think he needed to beat him, but he didn't need to be kicking out at the damn end of days.
He did not, to be fair, need to even do his finisher. There was no requirement for him to do his finisher. The best way to have done that match would have been the same way Drew wrestled Lesnar anyway. Just absolutely chuck him around the ring, hit him with a Claymore, and be done with it. Everyone knew Corbin was losing in the first place. It doesn't hurt Corbin to get squashed once in a while. He's a star maker, he's not a star.
The great finish of that match was the Braveheart sword through the rope. that was the good finish. Oh, Seth is stealing he's
going for the bionic elbow, baby.
I love how he's doing it with the angry face too. He's mad about it. I love it.
Oh, there's a second crossroads. Oh, we're going for another. Oh. Oh.
No way Vince is going to let him do a vertebreaker.
Cody says, I'll go back to AEW.
I'm telling you, he's going to do a Tiger Driver at some point.
1,
2, oh. 1, 2,
and he
3.
He held the tights. Little cocky smile. I like it at the end.
I picked Cody. Shut up, little girl. Damn.
Happy with that result. Seth's face.
So we definitely.
It's like, God damn it, he beat me at my own game.
Definitely getting the third match.
Yeah. Because Seth is now going to go into a spiral of chaos until he gets that match.
Like father, like son. I want Seth to just beat the piss out of his ref.
Come on, he's the hench referee. Take him.
He's about to. He's doing it. Get him.
Get
him.
Seth.
Curb stomp.
I don't know. Vince hates the curb stomp. Whoop.
Turnabout is fair play.
That gentleman's happy. Ugh, poor Seth.
Oh, Seth will be fine. Seth's so good he could eat losses for a year and it wouldn't matter.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
How many times did Shawn Michaels win and he came back?
When
he wasn't with Triple H and DX.
I don't think he can keep up the drip god thing if he keeps losing, though. That's my only issue. I don't want him to not be. I think this is the perfect combination of what Seth Rollins can give the wrestling world, and it's beautiful. I don't want him to lose it already because it's too fresh.
Yeah, true.
And we get commercials during a pay-per-view.
I don't. I'm getting a Bobby Lashley Omos
promo. He's paying for the $4.99 one.
Hey, I'm giving Vince as little money as I have to. He's got enough.
Well, I'm counting the days till that crap invades over here, and we have it on Peacock as well.
It is not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. I swear on it. I don't. Good. My only issue, and they might have changed it because they just did an update on it. My only issue is that when I go to like a pay-per-view, I can't skip to a certain match. I hate that because I got to fast.
That's annoying.
That's annoying. Everything else, though, I don't mind. I think it's laid out nicely. I can go and find things that I want to find. When I stop watching something and I pull up Peacock, what I was watching, I can just literally go down one and continue watching what I was watching. It's very easily accessible. And then the content that they put on that's not WWE, there's a lot of it that I watch anyway. So it's
okay.
You're getting so much content outside of wrestling that to me, $9.99, absolutely, I'll pay that all day.
I watched the John Wayne Gacy documentary, and that's been the only thing I've watched on Peacock.
Is it any good? So I haven't started it yet, but I wanted to check it out.
It's pretty good. It put across some theories that are a little far fetched, but the rest of it was done pretty well. So I'd give it 3.5 out of 5. It was pretty good, but they put across.
You got it on a special, Timmy. You getting the? You get commercials, Timmy? Because like my girl, she watches The Office.
No commercials.
So he did get a nice deal. But my girl watches The Office like nonstop. It's like always playing. If there's nothing else on, we just throw The Office on. They have movies on.
Hang on. When you say The Office, do you mean the crappy American remake or our one?
That's not crappy. It's not crappy.
Okay, the American remake or the
It's the American version, yes.
The one with Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
Yeah. Okay, I think he's hilarious.
I'll give you this.
I'll give it a pass.
The first season is not up to standard, but then through the second season through the 7th season, bro, as much as I watch it, I find new stuff all the time, and it's so damn funny. I was against it at first. I was like, Parks and Recs is better. After watching The Office now, like, I don't know, 10 times over again now, because that's literally how often we watch it. It's so good. It's so
a good show. The problem was they didn't end it had they ended it when Jim and Pam got married, that would have been the perfect ending to it. But instead, they stretched it out
I think they stretched out one season too far. Because I liked that it ended with the Dwight Angela marriage. I think that was the story that.
But those are the characters I hate the most. I don't want to see them live happily ever after.
I love Dwight, bro. He's so.
I want to see the Scranton Strangler get them both.
No. I think they did one season too long, but.
I'm English tidy. I don't have a clue what they're talking about.
Between Dwight, Angela, and Toby, I would have been perfectly happy to see the 3 of them drawn and quartered and burned at the stake.
Parks and Rec after season 1 is gold. Most seasons, the only season of Parks and Rec, like most shows, is the last season that ain't good. I love Parks and Rec. I think it's absolutely hilarious. It's the best.
Like Ron Swanson. That's about it.
I think the cast is the best cast on any show I've ever seen.
It's like everything around Ron I could do without, but like just Ron himself, I'm fine with.
I loved Andy. I think Andy is amazing.
Oh, here we go. It's Hoss time.
All right, I will see y'all after the match. I gotta go do double duty.
Okay,
All
dude. See you shortly.
Time for the big boys, our big beefy boys.
It's time for the beats. Meat slapping meat. Zayn will be in hysterics for this match.
Putting MVP with Omos was a great idea. They still try to put the mic near Omos's face far too often. It's like, no, don't do that.
Well, I don't understand why they gave him a mouthpiece as good as MVP, but then they keep having him talk all the time. Yes,
Exactly.
he needs to learn, and the only way to learn is to talk, but part of learning is listening. And if he listens to MVP's delivery, the way MVP cuts a promo, and tries to model himself after that kind of image, it might give him a decent base and a platform for him to then work off and create his own character. At the moment, he's just a generic giant.
Yeah. I remember when I was at the Rumble and he entered, and I had like this weird gut feeling like this guy could be something. I don't know what. I don't know exactly. It's like I don't know what exactly it is, but I've been an Omos fan since then because it's like this guy's got something. I don't know where it is, what it is. It's buried somewhere, but this guy could be a great big man if he's, given the proper tutelage, learns, etc.
He's young enough. Because I don't even think he's 30.
I wouldn't think he's 30.
That's what I mean. I don't even think he's 30. I think he's in his 20s. So he's certainly young enough. There's enough time. But it's just sometimes people take to it like a fish to water, and sometimes it takes a lick. Oh, nice new entrance for Bobby.
Lo Shrey to the main roster. She the only one left from the black and gold NXT.
Io Shirai. Io Shirai to the main roster. They're either going to send Io to the main roster or they're going to let her go. The unfortunate thing is she can't cut a promo because her English is not fantastic. Not knocking anybody that speaks two languages. I can barely speak English and I am English.
Well,
but she can't cut a
promo. I speak American. You speak the Kings.
You speak colonial, sir.
Pardon?
You speak colonial, sir.
Oh, we're going to drag up 1776 all over again?
The only reason you still have a country is because it was too expensive for us to take it back.
I'm just going to leave that one there. You can keep your tea. We'll have our coffee.
That works. Sorry, I'll let you off. WWE wrestling is predominantly American, so I'll let you off. Even though WWE did purposely come to England to stifle and destroy our British wrestling scene with NXT UK. But that's why I don't watch it. It's a protest. Apparently it's a fantastic show and I need to start watching it. And I'm going to start watching it because I want to do a video explaining why other people should watch it. Because my friend Simon keeps pestering me to watch it. Because apparently it's a fantastic show and I'm a huge Ilya Dragunov fan. So, once you've seen that boy live, his delivery and his passion and the amount of energy that he puts into his work is just unsurpassed by anyone I've ever seen. Yeah, get him, Leslie. Chop down the beast.
The wrestling on NXT UK is like 20 to 25 minutes a match. It is sick awesome.
Well, you see, this is why I need to start watching it. I refuse to watch it out of protest because I used to love going to Progress, going to every other ICW, every other English indie I could find. And then Vince went, nope, I'm going to come and take all of your stars and buy every single one of them. And now I'm not going to let any of them go to the promotions that you can afford to go to. And then I'm going to charge 65 quid a ticket. Yeah, it's expensive to go to NXT UK.
What is 65 quid equivalent to American dollars? About
about
75?
72.50.
Okay.
I think. Anyone in the comments?
Almost
Tell me,
has this.
'cause I'm not good with numbers. That's why I like wrestling. It doesn't involve
I
numbers.
keep trying to figure out Omos' style because he bounces between, oh God, this big guy can move, to this dude is a stump. It's like it's very
Well, he played
schizophrenic the way he
basketball.
wrestles.
He played basketball, didn't he?
Yeah, that's pretty much a rule. If you're that big, instantly you play basketball. It's like in the States, if you're any kind of beefy, they try to recruit you for football. My high school football team was so bad, one of the coaches stood outside the front door our sophomore year and was just like,
How much
guy
are your tickets, Tidy? Take in mind, that's not for a TV taping. That's just for one of the NXT house tours. For a TV taping, it's upwards of like 100 quid for ringside, which is about $110.
I think my ticket to the Rumble was well over 100, like 100 and somewhere around 150.
Jesus. Mind you, I know we never get pay-per-views, so I don't know how much we'd end up
You're
paying
getting
for a
one
pay-per-view.
soon, though. You're getting one soon.
Are we? Are we? Have you seen what they've called it?
I vaguely.
Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
And they're holding it in Wales. In frickin' Wales. The part of this country that everybody forgets is a country.
Diana,
they're holding it in Wales.
I mean, we remember
Wales
that.
is not knocking Wales. Anybody that's Welsh is watching, I'm sorry, I've been to Wales on holiday numerous times. It's a lovely part of the country, but it's Wales.
How many guys who played James Bond were Welsh? Weren't
3.
several of them?
Just because it creates good actors doesn't mean it's the best hotbed for professional wrestling, Cap.
I'm trying
They
to
should
give. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to.
Oh my God! You pay $300 for 2 tickets, 7 rows back. Jesus. See, this is why I primarily only go to indie shows. You're paying like 80 quid at most, and that's ringside.
That price is about normal for that close.
That's ridiculous. How much? Hang on. How much do you play for the nosebleeds then?
75, 50, somewhere in that neighborhood. I would
For
guess.
nosebleeds. That's ridiculous.
I'm going to see.
Jesus
I'm
Christ,
going to
no
see
wonder
Jack.
he's a fucking billionaire.
I'm
Pardon
going
my
to see
language.
Jack White
We paid
in
$100 for
August
one.
in Kansas City, and we got 4th row tickets, about $200 a piece.
See, Alex has got it good. He paid $100 for one front row seat at a WWE live event. That's the thing, that is flipping. Nah, I didn't pay for nosebleeds either. It's different if there's somewhere like the Hammerstein Ballroom. You want one of the balconies, best view in the house.
What's better, the
'Cause-
Hammerstein or the Royal Albert?
I'm biased. But the Hammerstein's probably in better condition, but the Royal Albert Hall is. There's something special about that place. But
Cream
it's
at the Royal
not
Albert Hall,
really. I don't
2005.
know if.
God, I love that show.
It's just. There's something special about that place. It's not the best venue to cram a wrestling ring in, though.
The Royal Albert Hall?
Yeah.
Well,
it's not
no.
No, it's doable, but you wouldn't have much of a ringside crowd.
Well, that last show that the Pythons did at the Royal Albert, I think it was about 10 years ago or something. I was like, yeah, it's great. I like the Pythons, but it's like...
There we go, Lashley drop kicked at the knee. Flatliner.
Ooh.
Well, he's too tall to put the master lock on effectively.
Oop.
He's on his knees, so it's doable. If he stands up,
He's just too big.
Go on, Lashley.
Too big, too beefy.
He's too freaking tall.
Well,
who's taller, him or that Indian Saddam Singh fella from the AEW just debuted? He's 7'2". How tall is Lomos?
They bill almost at 7'4". I think he's closer to like straight up 7 feet. And he is pounding on Lashley.
Uh-huh. See, I'm trying not to say anything because I'm still ahead of you.
Ah.
You know what? Lashley's dragging a fairly decent match out of him as well.
So far, it's better than what we got at Mania.
Well, they're actually telling the story this time.
Yeah, it's, and as long as it gets a little better each time, and improvement is, very good.
Omos is proof, though, that if you're big enough, Vince doesn't care if you don't improve in the ring. He'll push you anyway.
Giant Gonzalez was proof of that. Let's not forget that travesty.
I was going to use the word atrocity, but travesty's just as good.
Well, it depends on, did you pay to see it or did you just happen to have to watch it for free?
Oh, no, we paid.
When Mark Calloway can't get a decent match out of you, there's something wrong there. I remember, it was Great American Bash 1990 when he was handcuffed to Ole Anderson.
That was impressive.
That had to be some interesting conversation.
What you're about to see, that was impressive.
I mean, Lashley's strong enough, he could move almost around, but you don't want him to move him around in a way that could hurt him. Ooh.
I hate that bump. I would never take that bump.
The shoulder to the...
Yeah. Over.
Ooh, MVP. I love it. I wasn't that big on MVP as a wrestler, but my God, I love him as a manager.
Yeah, he's really good.
And that's it. Omos gets his win.
I picked him, so I'm happy. I wanted Lashley to win, but I knew Omos was going to win, so...
I would love to see the fact that Heyman is so over, MVP is so over as a manager. I would like to see a resurgence in great heel managers because it just makes things so much better when you've got that aspect of things.
Well, it does, but Vince unfortunately doesn't like them. I mean, he just fired the guy who had the potential to be the next Bobby Heenan in Malcolm Bivens. You gave Malcolm Bivens the right people, straight up.
See, he doesn't like tag teams. He doesn't like managers.
He doesn't like wrestling, Cap. Vince, in his own words, doesn't make professional wrestling. He makes movies.
We sell the sizzle, not the steak, pal.
Exactly.
Well, there's a problem. You can listen to that sizzle coming from the kitchen all as much as you want, but when you ordered medium rare and you dig into well done, it's not, it's like,
nice.
Why did I pay this?
I'm hungry now.
I actually made some Coney Island dogs today. They were delicious.
What exactly makes it a Coney Island dog and not just a hot dog?
It's like a sweet and spicy chili mixture with mustard and raw white onion on top.
Okay, because I know that all different places in America have their own hot dogs.
Yeah, well,
it always confuses me because it's just
like an all beef dog, sweet chili, mustard, and then some raw white onion on top. And the king has returned.
What do you think of the match, Jim?
I think they need to prevent Omos from running.
He wasn't running; he was skipping.
This is a meander at best.
One of the biggest Omos supporters on the internet, man. They need to prevent him from running. That looked bad. I don't think the match was bad. I think it was much better than the Mania match.
No, I think Lashley got a decent one out of him.
Yeah. The two times I saw him look like he was trying to run, it was like, yo.
A guy that big should not be running around.
Yeah,
doesn't need to.
My mom could beat that man in a foot race.
He's a basketball player, wasn't he? So you think he'd be actually quite quick.
I don't know if he was he?
Yeah, apparently he played basketball in college.
He was a center. He didn't move very much.
So that means we can still get Omos versus Shaq at Mania next year.
He's AEW
No.
now, man.
Advert for Hell in a Cell.
I'm gonna tell you now, Timmy. Nosebleeds aren't as bad as you think they are.
It depends on the venue. I've gone to some venues, nosebleed was just fine. I've gone to others where it's like I would have rather stayed home.
At Mania, I wasn't very close at all. Just I could clearly see everything. Though.
Sausages are way better here.
What's that?
He's just saying in the comments. There you go.
Oh, sausage.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like here in America, it's very tough to get proper English bangers. You know, we get bratwurst, we get.
They're just called sausages, dude. They're just called sausages.
They're always bangers to me.
I would love to find out in person. It's like a bucket list thing of mine. I want to go to the UK. I want to experience everything, and I want to go to a wrestling show in the UK. I think that's
progress.
Let's load up. Let's go to Wales for this great premiere event that's coming up.
No, you don't want to go to Wales. You don't want to go to Clash of the Castle because it's in Wales.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I looked up tickets and everything. I looked up plane tickets and everything. I was gonna try, but I was like, man, we just spent all this money on Mania. I can't buy all the plane tickets and all that.
Can't justify it.
But the UK show, I just know the UK show is gonna be amazing. Like the atmosphere is gonna be off the charts.
Dude, we've got the best crowds in the world.
We have like 2 towns in all of America that know how to be a crowd for some reason.
Chicago and Philly. See, even I know that, and I'm English.
Chicago's the other bucket list wrestling show I want to be a part of.
Yeah, Chicago is pretty awesome. But, I mean, well, you look back at the 92 show in Wembley. I mean, that crowd was going, they went nuts for Nails and
Man, is this
Virgil.
match?
You know, I mean.
Yeah, but that's because we're deprived, dude. We don't get it.
Deprived or depraved? There's a big difference.
Oh, did you hear about the speech Roman cut at a house show over here?
No, I did not.
Roman cut a speech at a house show. It's very interesting work.
It's a work.
Where he basically said, look, I probably won't be ever coming back here.
Not bad.
He basically said that he's probably never going to be coming back to the UK, so thanks a lot to all the fans for coming out and blah, 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 because it was a house show and off TV.
Yeah, he was saying something like he's on to the next phase in his life. It's the work. I'm almost guaranteeing it's the work.
He ain't going nowhere.
No. He's just going to have less dates. That's literally all it's going to be.
Yeah. And also, he's making sure Vince knows he's got other options when his contract renewal comes around.
Yeah.
Nick Kondo said in that last thing that they're doing everything they possibly can to help him become a star in Hollywood, because they realize that if that happens, it's just beneficial to them. It's more eyes on their product. And
look what happens every time The Rock shows up.
Yeah, it encourages those other guys that look at it as a way to at fame to be like, hey, I could take this route, and you have the opportunity for more like bigger stars. So,
but the problem is, has anyone ever actually seen The Rock's movies?
They're entertaining.
Yeah, they're great.
Have you seen the John Cena? That man is one of the best actors today. If you watch Peacemaker, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's shaking his head. He ain't seen Peacemaker. He ain't seen it.
Peacemaker's amazing.
I would rather undergo a prostate exam with a rusty fishing knife than pay money to see Dwayne Johnson or John Cena on the silver screen.
I'm letting you know right now, there were scenes in Peacemaker where John Cena had me laughing, like literally tears in my eyes. And then 5 minutes later, he had tears in my eyes because I felt bad for him, because he was able to do just flip it like that and make me feel for him. I'm not like a John Cena mark or anything like that. I'm letting you know, dude, he's far better than The Rock. The Rock isn't a good actor. He's just entertaining. John Cena can act. Like, I was very shocked at what he did with Peacemaker. See, my man Timmy knows. He's telling you right now, Peacemaker Cena can act. He's funny and he just needs the right roles.
Well, speaking of right roles, I think this whole link up between Edge and Damian Priest is going to be money.
Oh, absolutely. I really hope they don't do the Rhea Ripley thing.
I've always liked Edge better. It's like it's so easy to cheer against Edge because he just does the heel roll so well. But when he's playing a baby face, it's like, okay, yeah, it's Edge, but you know.
I'll say this: I think he's a better heel. I think his promos as a babyface from since he's returned are leagues better than he's done as a heel.
Yeah.
I loved his promos.
Age and experience
on Roman and on Seth. His promos were amazing.
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
far with this heel stuff, it's been like, come on, he's looking for cheap heat. I don't like that.
Nah, he can do better than this.
He's way too creative to be sitting there trying to just diss the fans' hometown. That's cheap.
Either that or he's holding off on the big guns.
If he is, okay, I'll take that. If they plan to have with this.
Well, who's going to be the third guy? Who's the third man? Who's going to join this Edge faction?
I don't know if you need a third guy.
I think you need a girl.
And I think it should be Liv.
I was going to say Rhea.
I don't want Rhea. It's too
go with a girl.
Go with Rhea. The thing is, I don't think Rhea needs to be in a faction. I want to see Rhea the solo star as a badass. But she would work.
She would work, but that's my problem is that it's too obvious and it's not needed. So there's two strikes against it right there. What's the point?
Yeah,
you look at someone like a Liv Morgan who needs something to get her to the next level, and it's perfect for her.
Liv really does need something to get to the next level.
Edge and Priest are both doing this because the fans couldn't help them. They've done everything for the fans; it didn't work for them.
By the way, guys, anyone watching's wondering what I'm doing when I keep doing this. I'm really blind. I'm reading the comments.
He's doing a Tony Khan. All right, I gotta put double duty again. They got me with 2 back-to-back matches. I'll be back after this one.
All right,
no worries, man.
And the King.
No, it can't be. I want AJ wrestling. Good idea, Tyler.
Yeah, I get that's why I like this. It's like a new twist on the Brood, you know. And I always
Ministry of Darkness, mate. Ministry of Darkness. This is Ministry of Darkness 2.0, or the House of Purple, depending on what you want to call it. But I love Edge. I think Edge is the best of his generation. Just like AJ Styles is the best of his generation. These two had an absolute... I said it on the prediction show last night. They had an absolute chess game at WrestleMania. And I love that kind of wrestling. It's old school as hell. Where they just constantly counter-wrestle, outsmart each other, counter-wrestle. And then the heel screws him in the end. It was perfect.
It was.
This needs to be a banger. They can't have another chess game.
I mean, what's wrong with a great I mean, Bobby Fischer and the Russian, you know, they got chess over. I mean, why can't these guys get great catch-can wrestling back over?
Because as someone pointed out in the comments so kindly last night, chess, although a fantastic game, it's not that entertaining to watch.
Well, unless you're a chess nerd like me, it is.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm a nerd. I like it. But casuals don't. That's why they didn't rate the match, because they don't get the match. They don't understand the concept. A casual fan is not a wrestling geek. They don't understand the concept of telling a story through your actions rather than your words.
Yeah, but it's catering to the casuals that hurts wrestling, hurts like you want to build, you know, your base with wrestling fans. Like, let the casuals come in if and when they want to, but you want to build that audience that's like...
They've already got that audience though, Cap. We're never going anywhere. They've had us since we were children, and now our children are starting to watch those wrestling matches. Well, not mine, I don't have kids. But
neither do I. Where are these children
kids
you're talking about?
Jimmy has children, and they both watch professional wrestling. But
they have no choice. Their father is Jimmy.
Doesn't matter.
They have no
the point
choice.
is, we're always going to be here. We're always going to watch wrestling. You need to appeal to the casual fan. They're what brings in the new part of the industry. But AJ, don't forget, he has been a veteran of the game because he has been anywhere and everywhere. Correct, Courtney. That's why AJ Styles was given what I'm now calling the Cody Rhodes treatment when he came into WWE. Because he'd proven that he was a top dollar commodity that could draw money all over the world by being a champion all over the world. Which means when Vince brought him in, he couldn't change his name, he couldn't change his gimmick, he couldn't change him up. Because he was too big a deal for Vince to do it. It's exactly what Cody did. He went everywhere else to prove to Vince that he could be a world title contender. And now he's a world title contender.
I'm actually kind of surprised Vince hasn't changed his name to just Styles. Given Vince's MO lately.
He's too big a deal. AJ's too big a deal to the industry. AJ is what keeps us happy.
He does keep me
Not
very
the casual fan. AJ keeps the hardcore fans happy. This match isn't for casuals. But storyline is.
Oof. How old is AJ anyway? 46? 45?
40? Like you know what? I'll Google it. Because I don't want to guess. I know he's 40 something.
Oof. Man, it just amazes me every time I watch AJ, even at this age, how good he is. And it's like, damn it, why couldn't you have been on this stage 10 years ago or even 15 years ago?
He is 44.
Okay.
Because if AJ had been put on this stage 10 to 15 years ago, AJ would have got nowhere.
I know, and we've had that.
He's Shawn Michaels good, but when he first started, he was a kickback kid and one of the Flippy Boy crew. Vince don't care about Flippy Boys. Look at Ricochet.
Well, I never thought AJ was a Flippy Boy. I thought he was just a great wrestler.
No, did you not watch AJ when he first broke in?
I was watching.
If you ever get a chance, watch from ICW. It's his match against Pac, and it's AJ's proving match.
I mean, I started watching him whenever
flippiest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Whenever TNA debuted was when I started watching AJ.
And he was a flippy boy then. He was a flippy boy then, but as time went on, he dropped. Dude, he used to do a running shooting star press to the outside. A running springboard shooting star press to the outside. The spiral tap. A 404.5 rotations into an elbow drop off the top rope. And you're telling me he wasn't a flippy boy?
Well, Shawn was a bit of a flippy boy when he was young.
Yeah, he was in his day. He was in his day, but Shawn changed over the years. And the difference was, Shawn was the businessman and manipulator backstage that AJ Styles never was.
He was having some sunny days, obviously, but, and he lost his smile a time or two. AJ's never lost his smile. And let's be honest.
Yeah, he did. They did that in TNA. They made him go all Sting and goth. Just when he was leaving.
People forget is like outside
of Johnny Cash's entrance music.
AJ is like Mick Foley in terms of just a good guy.
Oh yeah, he's a good Christian boy.
It's like he's like too good of a guy to be in the wrestling business,
Yeah, but he's also too good of a wrestler to do anything else.
I'm sure he has some other talents we haven't seen. What they are, I don't know, but
he can build motorbikes.
Huh?
He can build motorbikes. He built his own motorbike.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Found that out during the God Awful Aces and Eights storyline. Yeah, that was not good.
I got about a month of Aces and Eights, and I was just, I've never had to reach for the barf bag on an airplane, but my God, sitting around watching Aces and Eights, I was tempted.
It was not good.
And it's not a knock on a lot of the guys that were in it. It was just like, sweet Mother Mary, can you guys do something better than this? Although with the Bubba Ray and Brooke Hogan wedding, we did get a wardrobe malfunction.
I love the fact that Edge is Arn Andersoning him in this match, by the way. He is going after that arm and trying to tear it off his body. It is some good old-fashioned heel work. Go after the injury and destroy it.
I gotta grab something to drink. My throat's going dry. I'll be right back.
No worries. Sorry guys, I'm blind. Need to read your comments.
Fortunately, downstairs in my rec room,
He is a great heel, and this is a very good version of AJ's face. This is very similar to New Japan AJ before he just before he left. Just before he got kicked out of Bullet Club, where he was being more face-like but still had tweener tendencies.
I have to admit, I've seen very little Japanese wrestling in my life, and I kind of regret it because that's like the one, I guess, hole in my memory bank is that I'm familiar with, old school NWA.
All you need to do,
WCW,
all you need to do is watch Wrestle Kingdom.
Yep.
Just pick a Wrestle Kingdom, preferably from 2009 onwards, and just watch it. They're all good. They're all excessively long. They're like 5.5 hours per show. But they're all exceptionally good. I've not seen a bad Wrestle Kingdom yet.
Edge, I know I've seen him get some shade for it, but Edge is like whole thing whenever he's down and he gets
the king of useless facts.
The king of useless facts.
I know a lot of shit, but it's all useless.
Like, what was that show? Whose line is it anyway? Whose line is it anyway? Everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah. I used to love that show.
Wasn't there a UK version of that show as well?
Yes, and it was fantastic. Didn't last as long. Wasn't as good as the original. You can't replace Ryan Stiles. Or Colin Montgomery, for that matter.
Mockery.
Or Greg Proops. Did you know Greg Proops is in Star Wars?
No. Well, at the same time, what with like the original, I haven't really
Episode
watched
1. Phantom Menace. He is the voice of the commentator on the pod race.
Ah.
The two-headed alien. That's Greg Proops.
I haven't seen anything Star Wars since Episode 8 because after watching Episode 8, I felt I had just gone through a trauma akin to a child watching their parents being murdered in front of them.
No, right. Do you know what? I find the oh, hang on. Big comment.
So did I. That was what
I
really
restarted
got me
wrestling
back
when
into
Seth was with the Authority, started NXT about a year ago in NXT UK. Seth will always have a close place in my heart. It's when I realised I missed heel when he got hurt.
Yeah, well, Seth is arguably the absolute best thing in WWE as an all-round performer.
That was what got me back into wrestling, was the whole Authority with Seth. I had not watched wrestling very closely for about 15, 20 years, but that got me back into it because like 2003, 2004 until 2014, I was checked out, and then Rollins got me back into it.
I see. I've never checked out.
I was like, this guy's got something.
I checked out
on back.
I checked out on WWE all the way through the 90s. Didn't watch any of the Attitude Era when it was happening because I was a WCW and ECW kid. So, yeah, I didn't watch any of Austin. I had no interest in him. As far as I'm concerned, he was just Stunning Steve that I'd seen in ECW, and I thought he was going to do very well. But I never watched any of the Attitude Era that was going live until Royal Rumble 2000. And Royal Rumble 2000 has my favourite WWE match from my favourite WWE feud. Cactus Jack vs. Cactus Jack, the street fight. It's a masterful story of carnage and mayhem told by two absolute masters of the craft.
I remember that match. I watched it live with my best friend at the time, and that was the night where Triple H proved to me, all right, I salute, like, you got it. Like, what you just did tonight.
With a 3-inch hole in your leg.
Yeah, it's like you just backed up 2 years of, baloney, or what I thought was baloney, but tonight you backed it up. Like, you deserve this spot.
He's talking to you.
Thank you, El Capitan. I didn't have cable for years, is why. So before that was Kurt Angle on SmackDown for maybe a year straight. Then moved, stopped cable. Hulu brought me back. I never thought I would hear that phrase, Hulu brought me back. Well, you're very welcome. It was, Seth Rollins, if he can get me to get out of my cave, then that just tells you how he can keep modern fans interested. So that speaks volumes for how good Seth is.
It was funny.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jesse.
No, it was funny. A few years back, when the Shield was just getting started, a lot of us were in a pub watching. I don't know what pay-per-view it was. We were watching a pay-per-view after hours in the pub. And everyone's there going, "Oh, because Dean Ambrose was the US champion at the time." Everyone was like, "Dean's going to be the guy. Dean's going to be the guy. Dean's going to be the guy." And the entire time I was stood there with me and my brother going, "Nope, it's the other two." Because Seth is the Shawn Michaels and Roman is the Hulk Hogan. He's got.
Well, I think Roman's not the worker or the talker that Hogan was, but Roman's certainly.
No, he's a better worker and a better talker than Hogan was.
When I say worker, I say like in-ring kind of,
storyteller.
Yeah, storytelling.
No, he's not as good a storyteller as Hogan was, but Hogan only knew 2 stories.
What was the famous saying by Ulysses S. Grant? I only know 2 songs. One of them is Yankee Doodle and the other isn't. Yeah, well, the thing that was Reigns to me, when I started to come around to him, was here in this last, couple of years when he changed his game and he showed he had multiple dimensions to his character.
Well, for me, the problem with Roman was they were too busy trying to turn him into John Cena.
Yeah.
And he's not John Cena, and he never was going to be John Cena. You can't replicate John Cena. Like, John Cena wasn't Hulk Hogan. And it was only when Vince tried to stop turning Cena into Hulk Hogan that he realised, oh, hang on, I've got money here.
Yeah. I mean, I always liked John Cena, the guy, the wrestler. I just hate the character so much that I just kind of had to hold my nose whenever I watched him do anything. It's like, just forget the baloney that you're seeing and just focus on how good he is in the ring.
Oh, no, you see, John Cena's another one that I love because I won a £150 bet on John Cena.
£150 bet? What was the bet? I have to ask.
The bet was when he first came in. We were all watching a pay-per-view. I turned around to my brother and our mates and I was like, that guy will be world champion within 2 years. And this was in his Doctor of Thugonomics stage. It was the Fatal 4-Way with him, Rob Van Dam, Eddie Guerrero and Carlito for the US title when he turned it into the spinner belt. Oh, yeah. Styles Clash. Nice.
Oh.
He's about to kick out.
I knew Cena was going to be something at WrestleMania 20 whenever he walked out into Madison Square Garden. I think it was the opening match against Big Show, and the crowd just absolutely popped for him. And I was like, okay, this character sucks, but the people absolutely love this guy. And Vince may be blind to a lot of things, but he's not blind to, hey, the crowd is popping for this guy. There's dollars here. And I mean, again, I love John Cena, the worker. I love John Cena, the guy. I just hate, the character, the cheesy. It's just like, too much cheese on the chili fries there. Oh, and Priest is out.
And AJ, because he's a wrestler, is being distracted by the man who's 20 feet away.
He's not. Oh, Finn Balor.
They're going to throw this match out.
Please don't throw this match out.
It's Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
Telling you, that's Rhea Ripley.
It is. I can tell from the pants. No woman looks that good in leather.
Yeah.
By the way, to our buddy Matty, hope you're doing well tonight.
To our WrestleBuddy friends, I hope everybody is doing well tonight.
And Edge has got this combination sleeper hold crippler crossface thing. AJ's fading. It's over. It is over.
Dumb. Really dumb.
How so?
His shoulders hurt.
The shoulders? I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, AJ went into the match with a bad arm. Kayfabe.
I'm still waiting to. Are they gonna do this?
Yeah, she's about to do the reveal. It's not a he, you idiot.
You had to have the third person. The House of Purple.
Huh?
And Jimmy's heart just got broken.
Yeah. Knew it was going to happen, though.
It's, it's like fitting a square hole or a square peg in a square hole. It just works.
Yeah.
And now we need Rhea to take the belt off of Bianca.
Not yet.
I know Bianca's good. Just the character annoys me. It's not a knock on her work. It's just the character.
Right, bathroom break, Cap. Hold down the fort, please.
All right, I got you. go to the WC and take care of what you need to do. So now we have Edge, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest, and I am loving this faction. And now we're going to the preview. Oh, speaking of the devil, there's Bianca. Yeah, I know Jimmy's going to be very upset with that. I'm okay with it because Rhea needs the extra something. I think she's good enough, but after she leaves Judgment, she'll be a bigger star.
Bro, I told y'all Rhea was going to come and whip AJ's ass.
You said it would be bad.
I don't want her in it, but I did say she was going to come out there and beat AJ's ass.
Well, the King has rejoined us. I like the match. Wish it would have gone a little longer. The interference was necessary, but to tell the story. But
if they're going for a third match, they need to leave some for the third match. I'm not mad at it.
Well, see, now I'm wondering, so we got Finn Balor. So like, are he and AJ gonna align and try to take out this Ministry of Darkness?
Judgment Day.
It is the Ministry of Darkness 2.0, though, Jim. Let's be honest.
It's not. Ministry of Darkness was trying to sacrifice people. Edge just wants people to realize.
How about just the Purple People Eaters?
It's the House of Purple, dude.
Come on now. Come on.
The Purple Gang, the Purple People Eaters.
Anyway, you can't be happy about what just happened.
I'm not happy it was Rhea. But like I said, I did think it would be funny if Rhea came out there and beat AJ's ass, and that's exactly what happened. See, Timmy knows. Timmy's spitting facts as usual. That's what I do.
He is the king.
That's why we turn to you, Jim, in times of crisis. You're like our own personal superhero.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
And don't forget, folks, next week it'll be the Captain and the King and our buddy Matty.
Quizmaster.
Brand new program for you folks. Very excited. Going to be a Sunday night affair every few weeks. Looking very forward to picking this gentleman's brain.
Oh, what are you guys doing? Are we allowed to talk about this?
little bit.
We've got it in the works a little bit. That's just a new podcast with the Wrestle Buddies. Going to be a little trip down memory lane. Details to be coming, but yeah, hopefully next Sunday, if everything works out, will be the debut.
I'll be watching some fresh things, and so we'll be getting some takes from Virgin Eyes on some stuff. So that's what I'm excited about.
Okay.
It's gonna be a.
No, I'm intrigued. I shall have
a
to
nice watching of putting new eyes on old gems and sort of comparing and contrasting to what we have now. But the plan is to make it flow. We're going to be telling a nice little story, at least the way I've got the first 2 seasons kind of figured out.
I do think you and Cy will like this, Nick.
Okay, cool.
I think y'all will like it.
I'm intrigued. Anybody catch Cy's article the other day? It was really good.
What's that?
Anyone catch Cy's article on the website the other day? Everyone, please do check it out. It's fantastic. 5 ways AEW has changed or attempted to change the wrestling business.
From our good buddy Cy, who
I've always liked Cy's stuff. I just haven't seen that one yet.
That's really good. I really like his mind.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. McAfee.
What are the chances this is going to be the 3rd match that I have to leave for?
Hey, a king has many demands. Heavy lieth the crown, as they say.
Bro, I'm not even joking. If this is the next match, I have to go. I picked the 3 matches back to back to back.
Well, speaking of what Nick had to just do, I'm going to go do that same thing. I will be right back.
No worries, Cap.
Because I do not want to miss this.
But it's all good because I'll be free and ready for that main event, which I'm just excited for.
I am. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do. I love a good 6-man. I'm a big fan of tag team.
So well.
I'm a huge fan of tag team wrestling in general. I prefer it to singles wrestling most of the time. So I'm really intrigued to see what they do, because it's whether they're protecting Roman by putting him in a tag match or whether Roman is absolutely fine, because I know he has been wrestling on house shows.
Yeah. I think it's just to help build up some new challengers for him, because everyone's like, there's no one left on SmackDown.
But it's Drew, that's it.
And in this match, there's 3 challengers he hasn't faced yet. So for the next 3 months, you could literally just have a new one each month, and it's awesome. No one's mad at Roman versus Drew, Roman versus Randy, or Roman versus Riddle. Those are all great matches.
Yeah, every single one.
And I like that they're taking the top 2 storylines in their entire company and putting them in the same thing. That's very they haven't done this kind of because RK Bro is the biggest thing on Raw. It's hands down the biggest thing.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
And then Roman Reigns obviously is the biggest thing in the whole company. So to take those 2 top storylines and put them together, I feel like that's not something they've done in so long. It's something you used to see in the Attitude Era all the time.
Yeah.
And up until maybe 5-6 years ago, they did it every once in a while, and it's always fantastic. So for them to kind of go back and revisit.
Well, especially for me as well, it's a B show. Backlash is always going to be a B show. It's not one of the big pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So you don't need to oversaturate Roman with a title match here in any way, shape, or form. He has a title match near enough every show. He doesn't need to have a title match in every show. Hogan didn't have a title match in every single show. Not on a B show. You were lucky if he was there.
Thank you. Thank you. I see people like, oh, they're not defending the title. Who cares? A lot of people don't even want to watch Backlash.
It's oversaturation. It's like he's already blitzed through the entire roster predominantly. There's 4 or 5 people he hasn't wrestled for the title.
Yeah, and 3 of them are in this match, so it's just giving you a preview of what's to happen.
Exactly.
So I'm glad they put a halt on the Shinsuke program.
Yeah. Obviously, they're going to pull the trigger on that at some point. I'd hope they would, because I think Shinsuke and Roman have a really interesting match.
Well, I guess on SmackDown, Shinsuke made reference that he hasn't forgotten about it.
Yeah.
I imagine that'll probably happen at Hell in a Cell, and that's fine with me. Cause
it won't be in a cell. It'll just be a regular. It'll be a regular match, and it'll be a good match.
And it allows Shinsuke to pick up some wins over the next few weeks to
which
make
he does
him
need.
actual credible for a change.
I don't think they knew what they had when he got Shinsuke Nakamura.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he. I don't think he works on what they do. I think he's a great guy. He's a guy that can put in there and make people look good. He's gonna make the diehards are always gonna love him. But as far as like the whole audience, they're never going to really get behind someone like Shinsuke. And that's
unfortunately, you're probably right.
Absolutely, because he has more charisma than almost everybody. Oh man.
Ronda Rousey with the black eyes, but also the smiling. You know, Vince
on the side. That way it can be on TV. All right, so I'm going to do my double duty for the last time. I will return.
All right, man.
All right. We'll see you later, King.
Enjoy this match for as long as you can. I have a feeling it's going to go off the rails real quick.
Yeah, so do I.
I will say,
right, everybody, keep an eye on how many times this woman adjusts her ring gear. It is absurd. I've never known anyone that adjusts their ring gear as much as Ronda Rousey. Ever.
We need to get a plan for that. The next time there's a Charlotte Flair match, you know, plan ahead. You and I going shot for shot anytime she adjusts the ring gear.
We'll do that.
I will say, Nick, I was just looking at sort of the rough outline. Episode 4 of the new show with Jimmy, we are definitely going to be having you on as a guest because that show is very near and dear to your heart. So you will definitely be our guest on that one.
Okay, awesome.
It's pretty much like me, Jimmy, and Matt is like the panel, but we want to bring in like a different wrestle buddy for like each one. But episode 4, when I was writing it, I was like, oh, Nick's locked in here. This is Nick.
Awesome. That's what I like to hit. Come on, you two. You had no chemistry at all at WrestleMania. You need to pull something out tonight. This has got to be. It's got to be Ronda though. There's no way Charlotte can win this match.
So, I mean, but like you said at WrestleMania, I mean, these guys couldn't start a fire with a lit match and gasoline.
No. Well, I think the I Quit match is very clever because it protects Ronda's inadequacies in her storytelling in the ring. Because that's where Ronda lacks. Because a lot of people forget. One, like I said earlier, she's held under 50 matches in her professional career. I don't even think she's had 30 matches in her professional career. People need to lay off Ronda a little bit. She's doing very well for essentially still being a rookie.
She is in that regard. It's just that she really upset a lot of fans with her vocabulary and her choice of words.
Yeah, but she's already turned around and said Vince said she was a heel when she left. So when she left, she stayed in character. It's probably not true, but it's a perfect excuse.
Like I said, you hang around in Vince's head too long, eventually you start thinking like him. Just by osmosis, you eventually turn into a senile 76-year-old man. Did you happen to see that that video? I think it made the rounds on Twitter and YouTube of Ric Flair and Jay Lethal working out together.
Yes, I did. And Charlotte's response on Twitter was, "Dad, what are you doing?"
I was like, please, Rick, no. like
we
Hitler
do.
and Inglourious Bastards. 9999999.
We do not need to see that.
Oh. Nature Boy, I'm happy with what you gave me throughout my childhood and my teenage years, and even still today, going back and watching. I'm happy, man. Stay retired. Enjoy life.
Yeah, please stay retired. It's like, you know me, I'm the biggest Sting mark in the universe, but every time I see him do a ridiculous Darby Allin dive, now I'm terrified he's going to die.
Oh, that was my complaint at the pay-per-view back in February with the booking of that six-man tag match. I was like, I do not want to see Steve Borden taking these kind of bumps with his bad neck. This is ridiculous. Yeah. It's one thing to be Darby's mentor and to do some stuff here and there, but no, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, but surely as Darby's mentor, he should be teaching Darby that Darby doesn't need to do all of this crazy shiznit. And instead, Darby is teaching Sting that he should be doing this crazy shit. It doesn't really make much sense. Yeah, I agree, Alex. Ronda will win this match. I can't see why she'd lose. Dropped a high on the head.
Yikes. Charlotte has got she's got a lot of things that make me like her and a few things that I'm like little too much daddy.
You see, for me, Andy's identified the one problem with Charlotte Flair.
All right.
What is she without that belt? She's got the same problem as her father now. She's held that title so many times and so often that without that championship, who is Charlotte Flair? She's got to be in the title picture at all times to keep her character relevant.
Rick did not have that problem after a while. Like in the 80s, early 90s, yeah. But he did get to a point where he could be the Nature Boy without the belt.
Yeah, but Charlotte's not the Nature Girl.
No, she's not. She's not there yet. But I'm saying you can grow out of that. Yes, Flair was a 10-time world champion before he sort of started, learning how to just be a singles guy and just have great feuds. Or actually 11 times, I think. But, it can be done. Charlotte can do it. She's not there yet. But, all good things to those who wait and perspire. And let's not forget, is there a wrestler on planet Earth that has a bigger legacy, a bigger set of boots to fill than Charlotte Flair? Has there ever been? I mean, that's why I cut her a lot of slack, because she's being asked to essentially be the female Nature Boy in her era, and those are some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, but Charlotte's good enough to fill them. That's not the problem. It's just they've created her identity as a character so relevant and so grounded towards that title to gravitate around it at all times that without that belt, her character is half a character. They've not done enough to pad out who Charlotte Flair is without the title, because she spent 90% of her career in title matches.
Not disagreeing with you. So did Nate when he started his great run in 82. Not disagreeing. You're on the money, Nick. I'm just saying,
you're allowed to disagree,
Well, I'm not going to disagree if I think you're right. You and I disagree enough that when I find common ground, I got to jump in there.
Fair enough.
You and I have had so many go rounds on Kenny O that we could have our own feud on that. But I'm gonna agree with you when
let's not start on Kenny tonight, shall we? Let's use the Kenny free zone. Because I'm still pissed off at COVID because it's the only reason he's not back.
Well, if I understood things, he had just like a backlog of injuries and surgeries he needed to get fixed. I mean, and I'll be fair to him. He put in a lot of work in his matches, and he has a right to take some time off and kind of get himself. Because as much as I can't stand him, I don't want to see anybody get crippled or maimed.
No, hell no.
And he's definitely got enough injuries to take some time off and get things fixed. Oh God, Ronda's about to unleash hell. She's a whipping her like a mangy dog. Feed her clubbering like a government mule, baby. Fear the wearing her out. Woo. What was that old Loretta Lynn song? Don't come home a-drinking with lovin' on your mind. Don't challenge Ronda to an I Quit match and bring kendo sticks to the fight.
Ronda sneakily adjusting her gear then when she thought no one could see.
And, you probably made a good point. This match does cover up a lot of, there went $100,000. This match does cover up a lot of Ronda's inadequacies, but it also helps her because she looks more natural in this environment than she does in
it's a fight.
Wrestling match.
Because this is a fight, not a wrestling match.
Yeah, and she's a fighter.
One thing Ronda knows how to do is fight. It's because she hasn't learned how to Brock Lesnar a match yet, because she's not good enough or experienced enough to Brock Lesnar a match yet.
Oof, what the hell? Oh! Okay, I'm liking this. I'm not normally a hardcore fan, but it's tough for me to say no to a good brawl.
It's good so far.
I like a good Steve Austin, Terry Funk.
Unnecessary zoom in on Charlotte's wet elbow.
When it's Mick or Terry or Steve, I never had a problem with it. But this, I'm digging this. Oh, they're going. See, this reminds me of Great American Bash '96 with Sullivan and Benoit when they had that great shot of them going up the stands to the men's John.
This is the same spot she did with Sasha Banks. Yeah, it's the exact same spot she did with Sasha Banks when they had a no-holds-barred match for the title on Raw. That was during the period when they kept flip-flopping the belt between Sasha and Charlotte, and Sasha kept winning and then losing the night after.
Hot shotting. There's a time and a place for hot shotting. I mean, bookers that I love throughout history have had some hot shotting periods, and it's fine when you need to do it, but you can't get away with it for more than. You can get away with it for a good 6 months to a year, but after that, it starts to lose its luster.
Yeah.
But there is a time and place for it. What was the line by the Colonel in MASH? There's a time and a place for everything, damn it. Smack that makeup right off her eyes, Charlotte. Ooh, damn. I am liking this. This is a fight, and I'm digging it.
Where are you up to?
Charlotte's digging under the ring for something. Ronda's waving a chair. See, every time I look at Ronda, I'm thinking of the White Album and Rocky Raccoon. Which I think is, well, that's my favorite Beatles. I know Sgt. Pepper's and Revolver and a lot of others get praise as they should, but White Album is a masterpiece. I love it.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Best Beatles song.
I remember whenever I first bought Sgt. Pepper's and brought it home and I put it on my stereo. I was still living with my mother at the time, and she she was always like rating my record collection because I like a lot of the same stuff. Holy, what the hell is going on here? Oh, damn. She was like, I haven't heard that in years. Burn me a copy. I was like, I remember at one point she was wanting me to make her copies of all my Beatles, The Doors, and Led Zeppelin albums. I was like, Mom, what are you not telling me? I know you graduated high school in 1967. Oh, wait, I get it now.
See, I had that with my movie collection of my parents. More than my music collection.
Movies, we were pretty far apart on. Like we kind of agreed on westerns, but past that, it was like wasn't happening. But
no, my parents have very different tastes, and I have very eclectic tastes. So I like a lot of the stuff that my mum watches, and I like a lot of the stuff that my dad watches, and my dad likes pretty much everything that I watch.
Well, the thing is, my parents, both of them, think John Wayne hung the moon. And I love about a half dozen of John Wayne's movies, but to me, Eastwood was always better. But they never liked Eastwood that much.
Sons of Katie Elder's a masterpiece, though.
Oh, I've got it upstairs. I like it. Rio Bravo, The Searchers, Stagecoach, Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, great movies. But what's the common thread there? John
Quiet Man's awful.
Huh?
The Quiet Man is awful.
Well, again, it's like, when did Warrior have a great match? When Pat Patterson booked. When did John Wayne make a great movie? When John Ford or Howard Hawks directed him. Eastwood could have a great movie, great match with anybody. What is Charlotte doing now? I hate that we've talked over this so much. This is actually this is like the first match of the night, apart from Cody and Seth, that I want to go back and probably watch again. Yeah. These two are having a hell of a fight. A good old-fashioned slobber knocker, as Jim Ross would say. Oh, we've got an arm bar. Well, has she got it cinched in all? She hasn't quite got it cinched in all. Oh, Charlotte's getting. Oh, she's got it.
It's over.
Oh! Oh! Damn. Is that the new figure four around the turnbuckle, the arm bar?
Pat McAfee is doing a fantastic job on this match, I'd just like to point out.
I don't have my volume up my microphone.
I've got it.
Oh. Well, I've got a Yeti microphone. This thing picks up everything but fly farts, so if I have the volume up too loud, we might catch some copyright. You never want to catch copyright. You don't want to deal with
in this ear and you're in this ear.
I have to wear headphones all week for work, so I've just got you coming out of the computer and I'm talking into a mic. I actually did invest in some good headphones finally, and I like them, but the fact that I have to wear them all week during work is just like, it's the weekend. I don't want them on me anymore. Charlotte, ooh, she can't lift that. Oh, well, she kind of did there. That arm's taking a pounding. Call me crazy, but so far this seems like the most well done and best booked match of the night.
No, Seth and Cody was the best booked match of the night. Oh, natural selection on the chair.
This one's making more sense to me, though. Oh! Because I felt Seth should have won tonight to set up that third blow-off. Man, Charlotte is wondering what the hell she has to do to put this woman out. Oh, Here we go. Oh, Rousey's fighting it. Figure 8. Well, figure 4.
No.
Not quite a figure 8
Now
yet.
she's in the figure 8.
Oh. I don't think Rousey's going to tap. Oh, there's a way to break the hold.
Ronda's winning this, dude.
Forget reversing the pressure. Just hit her in the head with a chair. Is it just me, or does Charlotte look a hell of a lot like Alundra Blaze?
Yes, she really does.
Or Medusa, whichever.
She was well, she was Medusa first.
Yeah. Oh!
This is over.
She's caught up in the chair.
And we have a new women's champion.
And Charlotte gave up.
Of course Charlotte gave up. Otherwise she was never going to drop the title.
Oh, there's a wardrobe adjustment. I know they were fighting so much we didn't really keep track of it.
15.
You're actually counting. See, that would be the plan. If I ever come to the UK, we watch a premiere event. We don't do the WrestleBuddy thing. We just go to a pub. Whenever Charlotte's match starts, we just tell the barman to just line up the shots. Well, I mean, and this does make sense because, again, this, sets up another possible match between them, which is, again, why I'm kind of curious as to why Cody went over tonight. I thought...
No, because you don't kill Cody's jets. Seth could afford to eat a loss. Now that feud is done, move on. We don't need 3 matches in every feud. There's going to be a 3rd match, I would assume, because now Seth goes into a downward spiral of chaos and pain until he gets his 3rd match.
Okay.
Logic.
I just like to see Seth go over once in a while, damn it.
He'll win his next feud. He'll absolutely smash his next feud in.
And Charlotte is in tears. Booker T.
I've got Cody.
Yeah, actually, see what I think it was the first round of the WrestleMania Quiz Buddy show. The local Comic Con, Booker T and Ted DiBiase were both there, and I could have either gone to see them or done the WrestleMania Quiz Buddy show, and I was like, oh, damn it. I'm going to go hang with my boys.
Oh, Money in the Bank's going to be in Vegas. In the stadium.
Yeah, where the Raiders play.
Yeah.
The Death Star, as we call it. I'm not a big fan of dome stadiums, but that place is pretty nice. I hate to admit it. The King has returned.
There, Jimmy.
I love that one, Jimmy.
That was a good match. I'll give him credit.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
I have to double check. I think I'm 3 for 3 so far.
I haven't got one wrong either.
Let's see.
So what's left? We got Corbin and Madcap. We got the 6-man tag.
That's it.
And that's it.
Nope, I picked AJ. Why did I pick AJ? Why did I pick
Oh, wait a minute,
AJ?
I picked AJ. Yeah, I also picked AJ. Mind you, I don't know why I'm thinking about that. I always pick AJ.
As my girl just pointed out, it's because of the hair. AJ has much better hair. Damn. I don't have any hair to come after. He can't come after my hair.
That's why the man wears a crown.
That's right.
I actually cut my hair for the first time in about a year back in February. When I went to the Rumble with Matty and his brother, like it was getting pretty long. But
Well, I only get my hair cut once a year. It's good for your hair. Only going to cut once a year, otherwise you're overcutting it and it does not grow
I don't
properly.
have any to cut.
There you go. But I'm due for a haircut in about 3 weeks.
Usually when I shave this, I'm shaving this.
and I get to all my friends. They're either, they either have a receding hairline or they've got the Randy Savage bald spot going on in the back. But the thing is, like, they're all married to beautiful women, have great kids. But whenever we hang out, it's like the one thing I can lord over them is the fact that I still have all of my hair, all of it, its original color. It's like, well, okay, I got that.
Well, mine's not its original colour. It's very much going grey.
I mean, I've noticed a little bit of graying in the beard here and there, but
See this? Everyone thinks I got gray hair in my beard, but it's not it at all. It's white. I've had it for like 10 years now. It's because of a skin condition I have, so it grows in like this. And
Yeah,
luckily,
but Jimmy,
Hollywood
it's
Hogan-
like a
you got that Hollywood
perfect
Hogan
pattern.
thing going.
It
luckily,
looks like you dye it.
Yeah, luckily the pattern is perfect, and it looks like it's something I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Because people all the time like, you dye your beard that way? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm just that damn cool. I've had
Your
people-
facial hair styles itself.
Yeah, I tried to dye it one time black so that I just have the black beard, and the color wouldn't stick. The white was like too powerful. It was like, no.
It's like, no, come through. Gotta shine. Now I'm just all grey around here, and my hair's going grey as hell, but I'm 40 next year, so what do you expect?
Yeah.
I'm 35, so I don't know, it's
You're still a baby, Captain.
kind of.
I mean, you're not made of rubber and magic anymore. That stops when you hit 30.
I was like clean shaven until I was 25, and then started getting the facial hair to cover up more or less acne scars. So it's partially there for looks, partially there just to cover up those kind
Welcome
of things.
back, Timmy. So you
Hey,
see
Timmy.
how it's white here in the beard? If I shave this off, there's white there in the skin too. You can still see this thing right here in the skin.
Ah.
You probably can't. Here, let me show the tattoo. You can. It's hard to show. I can't get a good angle with the camera. You can see in the Michelangelo tattoo, the skin color is like, I'm tan, but then I have like just like almost what's it called, albino patches.
Yeah.
So I have it right here too in the skin. So when I don't have the beard, I still have this. It doesn't
That's
look
crazy.
as cool. It doesn't look as cool as the beard does.
No, it doesn't.
That's why I keep the beard.
No, the only
Never
reason I have a
never
beard
lose
is because
that
I am
beard,
too
man.
lazy to shave, and it grows in a reasonable way.
That's the money maker.
And Alex hates it when I shave, so
The last time
I
I
can't
shaved
shave.
it completely off, I showed up to work, and I was like sitting there in front of my boss, no clue who I was. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm here for my check." He goes,
who are you?
And here comes Happy Corbin. I love this guy. I know I shouldn't, but I can't help myself. I just love me some Corbin.
He's really good at his job, and his job is making other people look good.
And making people hate him.
Yes.
He literally does not give a shit. He's like, yeah, hate me. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
He's not at Rick Rude's level. Rick Rude truly made people despise him. But he's getting there.
I think it's a little harder these days to get to that level.
Yeah, because you can't say or do as much without causing offense.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, Rude not only could do it on the mic, but he also did it like in the ring gear. He did it in the way he walked. He did it like during the match, the little bitty details. Like everything about his character was constructed to make you despise him. And he still did the classic cheap heat, like, all you fat Philadelphia something. It was cheap heat, but it was Rick Rude. He got away with it because he was Rick Rude.
If you're getting heat the traditional way, I don't mind you doing some cheap heat. That's fine.
No, that's fine.
It just annoys me when you just rely too much on that cheap heat.
Yeah, be creative. It's a creative business.
Well, you remember back when Edge and Christian were a
look.
tag team and they would do the 5-second photo op thing. I remember when they did the Elvis thing in Memphis, like fat Elvis and really fat Elvis.
Yeah. I really hate like Moss. My Cat Moss's ring attire. I can't get past it, guys. It's so stupid.
I have those exact same shorts.
Beyond stupid, it's ridiculous. You can't take him seriously when you see a guy that looks like that.
He's transitioning, though.
He is, but he really needs to transition to better ring gear.
Well, I feel like once the whole Baron Corbin thing's over with, he's going to transition. The ring gear and all that's going to change.
I hope so. But then they make Elias dress like the Ultimate Warrior now, so...
Oh, God, don't even get me started on...
You mean Ezekiel?
Sorry, I forgot it's his younger brother.
Elias is gone.
I got him confused.
Uh-huh, yeah.
You did see the picture.
I did. We all saw the picture.
Yeah, they're not the same people.
Nah, completely different people.
They even wrestle differently.
I'm going to go ahead and be on the negatory there. I'm sitting back till I get the DNA results. It's actually pretty amazing for if you were watching the Saudi show that Moss is not in a wheelchair right now with that bump he took.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
He very easily could have wound up like Big E.
Or like Draws.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, God.
It's the one thing that scares me about him. Right? Yeah, I think so.
So all them hits he was taking in football probably conditioned his neck to take things like that.
Yeah, but the human anatomy, I mean, my mother broke her neck when she was like 12, 13 and still, managed to live a pretty good life, got it fixed properly and everything.
My brother broke his neck when he was 21. He was fine like 2 years later.
Yeah,
it just depends. It depends on how you break your neck. There's many levels of breaking your neck.
Very true. Very true.
Like if you truly break your neck, you're dead.
Yeah, you snap the spinal cord. Yeah.
If you sever the spinal cord, you're dead. It depends on how many vertebrae you crush or you crack or you break. It's very, very dangerous.
I just don't like to see guys taking those kind of moves and chances. But again, you could see something as simple as Sid Vicious. As simple a move as what he was doing.
That wasn't a simple move. That was a terrible idea on his behalf.
That was the dumbest.
That was the move off the second row.
Yeah, it was the dumbest idea. Sid Vicious is the most top-heavy human being that has ever existed in professional wrestling. There's no way he should have ever thought, I can do a big boot off a middle rope. It was never going to work. It was such a stupid idea. And possibly the most hideous in-ring injury that's ever been televised.
Guy at a few times in his career. Let's not forget that Sid was never a brain surgeon. There's a reason he was selling farming chemicals before he got into wrestling for a reason.
But
And I have half the brain that you do, is what I will always remember about Sid.
the move Madcap took though isn't like a crazy move. It gets everyone takes
Just
it.
Basic move.
He just
or another great quote from Sid. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, now it's the rest hold portion of the match.
Yep.
Y'all both got Madcap winning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he has to get out from under.
You're picking Corbin, I assume, from
I'm
the
the
look of
only
your face.
person I've seen take Corbin in this match.
I think Side pick Corbin.
Good sigh.
Moss
Yeah.
needs a win and a new wardrobe.
But at the same time, Baron Corbin needs a win as well because he has not. It's been a longer time since Seth.
Yeah.
Corbin's won anything. At some point, he has to win something, or else the credibility is gone.
Yeah, you don't want him to become the Brooklyn Brawler.
Oh Lord. Brooklyn Brawler. I'll give you one better. Barry Horowitz.
That man is a
Nothing wrong with
legend.
old Barry Horowitz, man.
Do not besmirch the name of the Saint Barry.
Horowitz wins. Horowitz wins. Oh, poor Barry. He had a rough time there for a while.
Yeah, but you know what else? He got paid for that rough time.
I loved watching him lose, so he was good at
Make
it.
a
as
lot
well.
of money being a jobber for Vince McMahon.
Yeah, but he was damn good at his job.
Yeah. But you got to figure the entrances for the 6-man tag match are going to take up about 30 minutes. So this match has to be about getting ready to end.
I'm counting down the days that Randy comes out on a damn scooter, man.
Oh God! Please, for the love
We
of
can
God,
hope.
don't do that to Randy.
I've been waiting since they started. Like, come on, get out there on that damn scooter, man.
Well, he wanted a camel, didn't he, in Saudi Arabia? But Vince was like, "No, you would not ride a camel to the ring."
And Randy's like, I think I know what I would do.
Well, I would ride a camel.
This is the whole thing. It's like, I know Riddle's good. I like his in-ring work. I like him, but the character is just a total doofus, and it's
That
tough
works.
He's not a
Because
doofus. He's a stoner.
that can whoop your ass, and that's
Yeah,
how he portrays it. It's not like he plays a doofus in the ring.
No,
He's a
he's
doofus.
a cornball stoner who will absolutely own you if he wants to. That's
It's
his
not
whole
like Disco
shtick.
Inferno 1995.
What's wrong with Disco
goofball.
Inferno, bro?
No, the 1995 Disco was an absolute doofus. But
It works for Riddle. Like I said, it just works for Riddle.
Mhm.
I like it. It's new. It's fresh. I don't think we've seen anything.
Well, he's another one that was lucky because he didn't have his character changed from his indie stuff.
Well-
He's just been himself.
Well, like he said, he goes, I can't play a character. If they gave me a character, I would butcher it. I can't act. He goes, I'm lucky that they
he's
allow this to work.
capable of more better given his talent, skills in the ring. He could be something better than a flip-flop wearing stoner.
But that's like I said, that's
Did
what
it-
he said. He can't do anything else. He said he would
No.
suck completely at it. So I think if you have someone that good in the ring, you have to kind of let it. Hey, it's over. It works. People love it.
It's
They're one
over,
of
but
the
it's,
top merch
but
sellers.
it's over for the wrong reason.
It's
I
one of the top merch sellers. How
I
is that the
think
wrong
there
reason?
is.
Bring the
I
money.
think there is a switch that can be flipped,
Yeah.
which is Angry Riddle. Angry Riddle is an entire possibility for a character. Because I know eventually RK Bro are going to split up. It's going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to be a long way, but eventually they're going to do it. And they're going to do it while Randy is world champion. And you have Riddle turn on Randy.
No,
Yes.
it doesn't work.
It does work. It
Doesn't
makes
work.
perfect sense. Or you do it the other way. You have Randy as the champion, then you have Riddle win the Rumble. That way you don't need to turn it. But you still get the Riddle Randy match for the title of Mania.
See, again, I can't buy Stoner Riddle as world champion. I could buy Angry Riddle as world champion, but not Stoner Riddle.
Mother screws with me.
I think Angry Bro's fine as long as it's a switch thing. If they do what they should have done with Big E, where Big E's happy all the time, and then a flip gets switched, and he turns into a badass.
A flip gets switched.
You can't get rid of the Stoner thing because it works. It's entertaining. It makes money. Those are the two things you need.
No, so here's the thing. It's like Triple H before he got serious. Like the whole thing with DX, it was working, it was selling merch, but he wasn't getting any higher than European Intercontinental title level.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Riddle is not going to become a world champion given his talent until he ditches this character.
Different time.
Different time, dude. It's 2022.
You know who my son gravitates to the most?
Orange Cassidy.
Riddle.
Oh, there you go.
He loves Riddle. My girl loves Riddle. And these are the fans that they're trying to appease to, because these are the ones that are because like Nick was saying, they know the diehards are going to keep watching. But when you can get the casuals to be like, hey, that's the person I want. They've succeeded. They're going to push them to the moon. And like I said, Riddle doesn't play the goofball when he's wrestling. He is a legit badass.
Yeah.
He is, and I have nothing against Riddle.
I'm going to call it now. Austin
like
Theory will win the world title off Matt Riddle.
Love the guy, love the work, hate the character.
Yes.
And Mark Wynn.
Told you, Jimmy.
That's bullshit. Bullshit.
Beat him with a backwoods.
Bro, I just want to see Baron Corbin win.
They'll get there
I
eventually.
just want to see him win.
Well done, Court.
My boxer is like 3 feet from me, and she is snoring very loudly.
Right. You think my cat snores so loud I've had to put him in the other room. Because my mic will pick him up. Right, my mic will pick my cat up, and it sounds like a foghorn. He's only like this big.
This a new one to look at?
Well, she's about 70 pounds. She's a pretty good-sized girl, but it just blows my mind. Like, sometimes I'll just be sitting around and she'll just be sawing logs in her sleep. I'm like, good God, Margaret, remember yourself. You're a lady.
Can't believe Corbin lost.
Maybe Vince is done with him. Who knows?
He loves Baron Corbin.
Uh-huh.
Because Corbin's a yes man. Corbin, he's like, yes, sir, I'll do exactly what you need me to do. And I'll do it better than anybody else can.
Yeah.
At some point, we all know Vince is going to bite the bullet, and there's going to have to be a new regime that handles that company. And I just, as bad as Vince is, it's like, God, I wonder what the hell's going to happen whenever someone new takes over at the helm.
I dread the day Vince leaves. Honestly. I've thought about this a lot. I used to be like, man, I hope he does because it'll change things. But after thinking about it, I dread the day he leaves, because who's going to take over that?
Well, the thing is, like, yes, Vince is atrociously bad, but the other alternatives, like John Laurinaitis, please.
But is he really atrociously bad? Or are the people who think he's atrociously bad changed how they view things? They're stuck in a way. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong to like what you like, but what WWE does now isn't what you grew up watching. It's completely changed. It's evolved. So if you don't evolve with it, again, that's fine. But now there's options for you to go out and look at.
Yeah.
There's no need to keep doing the same thing over.
I wouldn't say it's evolved. I would say it's devolved. I would say it's gone far backwards to the character cartoon days.
Is it making more money than it ever has before?
Yeah.
Then it's evolved. it's
well, there's
changed.
a lot of things that make money that I can't stand, and it's what makes it.
But that's you personally. That's you personally, though. The number one objective of the business is to make money, and that's what they do. And every year they just make more and more and more.
And
if
that's
they're losing money,
with Vince is he continues to make money despite his in-ring wrestling product continuing to devolve. And it's like, Vince, have you ever watched like wrestling?
Hang on, Kat. Whoa. The in-ring has anything but devolved. You will put Hulk Hogan in the ring with any wrestler with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins will eat him the fuck alive.
That's the thing, is we get like 1 or 2 matches like that. We've got our Edges, we've got our AJs, we've got our Seths.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick with that though. Here's the thing. Look what AEW does. AEW literally tries to give you one of those matches every single time, and we've become numb to it. It's almost like if they don't do anything crazy, it's like, what the fuck. But when WWE gives you 1 or 2 a show, you remember those matches.
I'm not numb to it. I love it.
So there's a reason you do it. Less is more. It's always going to be the thing. Less is more. So if they give us 2 good matches on an 8 match card, sure, you're like, man, I wish those other 6 matches were good, but man, those 2 matches were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what he's playing. And I think a lot of other promotions could learn from that, because they're literally trying to do home run.
Chase Mothers agrees.
Home run. And it's like why? You're literally making people numb to things, and that's not good for the business.
No, not in the slightest.
Every match doesn't need to be.
Everything can be overexposed, and a lot of stuff is getting overexposed.
Yeah.
WWE are guilty of it as well.
No, they overexpose things for sure. I'm not saying they're not guilty of things. But as far as the match thing goes, I see people complain about their matches all the time. It's like, look, it works for them because what they're doing, they're still the most viewed. They still make outrageous amounts of money. And when they have those good matches, we remember them. They are great. So,
well, look at 2K 2022, the GM mode. You're allowed 3 matches and 2 promo segments per show on an episode of Raw. Sorry, 3 promo segments per show. That's the show that Vince would actually want to run. 3 matches, and the rest is just promo segments and story. And that's probably where we're going to go in the next 5 years.
I mean, they're not far from it.
No.
But
well, yeah, I mean, Raw is 3 hours long, and there's like, I mean, that's why I can't watch Raw. I can't. It's just like,
and a lot of that comes from the fact you're wanting to watch like wrestling. You're not wanting to watch the entertainment aspect. And again, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
but
that's just me.
That's what they've evolved into. So when people are like, WWE is the worst it's ever been, it's like, it's not. It's just not what you want.
This is not the new generation era.
Yeah.
The new generation was the worst it's ever been.
Because people will tell me all day, every day that the last days of WCW were fucking terrible. I loved them. I loved WCW to
They weren't terrible. It was just they were. You couldn't revive it. Like it had gone so far down that you couldn't. No, like I was telling Nick earlier tonight, there was no amount of adrenaline you could pump into that corpse that would bring it back to life. As great as some of the last year, give or take, of WCW, I didn't have a lot of complaints, but it was already dead. Like, you're not bringing this thing back to life. It's gone.
But the point I'm trying to make is the masses will tell you that it was atrocious. And in my opinion, it wasn't. I loved it to the day it was gone. I was at the last show, and I was like, it's what made me quit watching wrestling for a few years. I missed WCW because I loved it that much. And that's what I'm looking at now is all these people who sit there and say WWE is trash, it's the worst, it's in the mud. It's like, it's not. It's just not what you want it to be anymore.
Yeah.
You can evolve, or you can stick, and you can find something that fits your mold. Which, again, we have more wrestling now than we've ever had before.
There's more choice now than,
absolutely.
I've been watching wrestling since '88, and there is now more options for me between British wrestling, American wrestling, Japanese wrestling, Spanish wrestling, Mexican wrestling.
Constantly, like, complaining, like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to watch this shit. It's like, you don't.
Go watch something else.
There are so many more options for you.
Well, deep down in my bone marrow, I'm a wrestling addict, so I have to at least try and pay attention. It's not bad enough. Like I was saying earlier, like 2004 to 2014, I checked out completely. Like, I didn't watch jack squat. 2014, I kind of started to pay a little more attention.
Yeah, which means you missed the entire best run of the early 2000s, CM Punk.
I did, but I went back and... You know, I hate that, but
when you watch like Raw or SmackDown or anything, do you watch it live or do you watch it like taped, or how do you
I used to watch Raw live every single week. Now, as you know, sometimes I'm still awake at like 4 a.m, which is when I jump into your comments and watch the early show. Yeah. But there's so many adverts. I tend to watch Raw the next day now because I can just fast forward through the adverts.
So what about you?
I tend to have to watch things at a later time because I have to get up so early for work most of the time that I have to be asleep by like I'm making an exception for these events, but normally I have to be awake by like 6 a.m. So
you're watching it taped, correct?
Yeah.
So you can literally just fast forward through all the shit you don't want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So
see, but I don't do that. I don't. If I have to watch it, I have to watch it. I just wish, instead of having a team of 20 writers, just get a booker, Vince. Just get a guy to book the show.
Man, like I said, if I would slap somebody if I was making the most money I've ever made in my life, and they're like, "Hey, stop doing it that way and do it like you used to." I'd be like, "Hey, screw you, man! I got all these people who tell me it's good. I love it, and I'm making money. Like, what do you expect me to do?" That's the whole thing.
Well, again, and it's Vince, like Nick said, Vince is not a wrestling promoter. Vince is an entertainment promoter,
and he's never been shy about it
with pro wrestling.
He'll tell you straight up, "I'm not in the wrestling business. I'm in the
entertainment business."
He's never been shy about it. So it's crazy for people.
Then why do you have a wrestling ring? Why do you have wrestlers?
Because it's part of the show. But so it's crazy to me. After all these years, people are still like, "This is the worst wrestling." No, don't look at it as a wrestling show because that's not what it is.
It's great
sports entertainment.
Most of the time,
you want a wrestling show? Go watch AEW.
Yeah, go watch Impact.
I do.
I hear Impact is from the beginning to end, nothing but wrestling. Awesome show.
Yep.
So if that's what you're into,
go watch New Japan.
If
you really want pure wrestling, go watch New Japan.
I gave Impact and TNA so many chances.
I'm with you. I can't personally watch it, but
Impact is trash.
What I watch on WWE. I rarely watch a WWE show and be like, I wasn't a fan. And if I do, like SmackDown, I don't enjoy SmackDown, so I don't watch it. They changed.
See, I'm the reverse. I wasn't enjoying Raw, so I stopped watching Raw. I watch SmackDown every week.
And then with NXT, I was absolutely in love with NXT. They changed it. It's not for me. I don't watch it anymore.
No, same with me. I don't watch 2.0. I watched the first episode of 2.0 and I was like, nope, this is not for me.
I watched like the first month. I went to one of the shows. I was like, let me see if I'm just going to get used to the new thing. And I was like, not for me. Stop watching. And that's crazy when I see other people like, this shit is horrible. Click, turn. Why do you do this?
I didn't like NXT Black and Gold, so I never watched 2.0.
Crazy. That's crazy.
How? What? Whoa. You didn't like what was arguably the best wrestling show on television for 4 or 5 years?
That's right, Tidy.
So some people at the
my good friend that I do another podcast with was like, dude, you gotta watch NXT. I was like, okay. I sat down and watched an NXT event, and I was like, no, this sucks.
Of the past 20 years, NXT Black and Gold was the most pure wrestling show they had.
I didn't like it.
That's crazy.
The times I went in and watched, I was like, no, this is typical Hunter booking that I don't like. I
Dude,
love.
Go watch Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens versus Adrian Neville. Pack.
Go watch the Rivals Takeover.
Yeah. Chef kiss. It's literally like, mwah. It's one of the best tag matches. Watch any DIY revival match.
I will praise Triple H Hunter as a great worker till the day I die. But as a booker, he couldn't book his way out of a wet paper bag.
That's crazy. I'm the exact opposite.
How can you have this opinion, Cap?
Because I've watched his work as a booker, and I'm like, dude, this.
Yeah, but his work as a booker was really, really good. It just wasn't as good as AEW.
No, I won't even say that. AEW didn't have the handcuffs that NXT had, because AEW was pretty much just watching what NXT did and then did it better. NXT couldn't do some of the things because they're stuck in that PG threshold. If there was no restrictions, I think that whole Wednesday Night War nonsense would have went completely different.
Possibly, but I've seen enough of Hunter's booking through the years, not just NXT, but also WWE. I'm just like,
to me, it wasn't even his booking that is the reason for the downfall. It was the people watching. If they can watch basically the same show, which is what AEW and NXT was. NXT was doing things slightly better, but AEW was allowed to drop curse. They were allowed to curse. They were allowed to do blood, so it's edgier. And people were like, "Oh, that's what I missed."
It's not just that. NXT suffered from its own model. The idea of NXT being a developmental system meant it didn't matter what Triple H did to build up stars. He could build a roster for 2.5 years, then his roster gets poached. It's all gone to the main roster. They get repackaged, new gimmicks, and then Triple H has to start again. And he had to do this every year.
Literally every 4 months. Yeah. And the fact that he was able to keep it going for as long as he was, that's a miracle.
I will.
It really is.
So here was, I was giving Triple H props for the fact that he brought back something like the War Games match. But he screwed that up and took the top off the cage. He would do things...
no, it didn't really screw it up, though, because we got Ricochet doing a triple moonsault off the top of the cage because there was no roof.
You got Ciampa hitting... The
air raid crash. There's a lot of Adam Cole getting just destroyed every single War Games match.
It's like
I don't think War Games ever needed the cage.
Hunter did as a booker. He would do 2 or 3 other things that I'm just like, dude, what the... For the love of God.
Also, you got to think of it this way. If they left the cage on War Games, what makes Hell in a Cell special?
What makes what?
If they left the roof on. What makes Hell in a Cell special if War Games is doing the exact same thing with more weapons?
Rings. It doesn't extend over the entire ring. It's just it's War Games. It's not Hell in a Cell.
Question: You think Vince is a better booker than Triple H was?
No, Vince is not a booker. Vince is a promoter.
Well, that was just a diversionary answer.
Vince is not a booker. Triple H, I don't think is a very good booker.
Okay, do you think Tony Khan or Triple H is a better booker?
Triple H, without a shadow of a doubt.
He's thinking about it.
Oh, no, it's not even a question.
Oh, God.
People in the comments, who's a better booker? Vince McMahon, Triple H, or Tony Khan? Let us know. Right, we'll let you people decide.
I grew up hating Triple H as a performer. I now love that man because of the work he did in NXT. Mm-hmm. That's how great
I love him as an in-ring. He's one of the greatest workers of all time. But as a booker, forget it. I'll take Tony Khan's booking over Hunter's booking.
What is it about Triple H's book you don't like? I'm very curious now. What is it about it?
Thank you, Triple H.
Anytime I would tune in to a time in WWE whenever Hunter was booking or something with NXT, I would watch what's going on, and I'm like, it's like, what are you doing, Hunter? Like, are you not? It's like, for all the great wrestling knowledge that you have, how are you putting this crap on my TV? Oh. How are you a student of the game, as you claim to be, yet you can't look worth a damn?
Just to add on to that, so were you watching it weekly, or were you just tuning in periodically?
I was watching it weekly from about 2014 on.
Okay.
I liked some things he did, but it was like, okay, those couple of things you did, that was real great, but the other 2.5 hours of Raw.
But Triple H was never like really involved that much in Raw and stuff.
Nope.
He did the one SmackDown show where they were all stuck in Saudi, and it was a brilliant SmackDown show. But other than that, all his work was NXT. So the Raw stuff, that's Pritchard, Dunn, all those idiots, which I'll agree with you all day on. They're idiots.
Yes, there you go. That's exactly the problem. You didn't watch NXT long enough to get a feel for it.
I've tried so many times. I'll always have a soft spot for Bruce Pritchard because of Brother Love, but I'm less inclined to agree with you that Pritchard's kind of a yes man. But
I think they still have ideas.
I hate John Laurinaitis more.
Yeah.
Everybody hates Johnny Ace.
It's like, Pritchard, I hate you, but damn it, Johnny Ace, I hate you more.
Nobody likes Johnny Laurinaitis.
And
you're going to have to
Stephanie,
hear.
I've made my thoughts clear on her for many, many years. I won't go down that rat hole again. But
Agreed, Timmy. It was perfect.
I think he got it. I think it got great for me NXT about 3.5 years ago. It was just perfect.
It was so
Agreed.
damn good.
It was fantastic. When Undisputed Era were reigning high on high. Oh.
Maybe it was just a spot where, and maybe sort of like Jimmy was saying, you know, Triple H was handcuffed to a certain degree as to what he could and couldn't do. But
he had freedom, but that freedom only went so far.
Yeah.
And the only thing I will shit on Triple H for, his booking wise, was the Undisputed Era. They should not have a losing record in War Games.
Agreed.
That should have never happened. That's my only complaint on his booking throughout the NXT era, is that there was no reason that should have happened.
No, they should have won every single time.
I'm okay with them losing one of them.
The one against Pete Dunne's crew made sense.
I don't care which one they lost, which one they did lose. I just think if they're the unit that reigns supreme over NXT, there's no reason a bunch of dudes should come together with no
cohesiveness and be able to beat them.
Yeah.
I will say this. For as much as I have and will constantly always hate on Hunter's booking, the fact that he is now, you know, retired, you know, or out of the business, however you want to put that exactly.
Yeah.
But
whatever he is, we don't know.
I would have been far more comfy with Hunter taking over the reign than whatever else is going to happen, because as much as I hate Hunter's booking, it would at least be better than whatever we're going to get whenever Laurinaitis and crew do whatever they're going to.
Because what's going to happen is you're going to have a bunch of heads they're just going to butt heads all the time, and it's going to suck. That's why I dread the day Vince is gone, because at least Vince, there's direction. We don't know where the direction is because it's in Vince's head, but he knows what he wants. He knows where it's going to go, and it all goes through him. Once he's gone, this person's going to say this person's going to say this, and then they're just going to...
Once he's gone, we get WCW version 2.
Well, and I thought, you know, Shane was going to be the heir apparent. You know, I thought...
Thank God he didn't.
Well,
that boy knows nothing about business.
You know, like
he tried to start
15
Netflix. He tried to start Netflix in China, failed miserably. He tried to start some security company, failed miserably. Tried to start some other business, failed miserably. Shane has not got a business head brain in his body.
Here's the thing: everyone talks about they want Shane, but when Shane brought Raw Underground to Raw, I heard nobody say anything nice about it.
No, not a single person.
You're absolutely right, and I've been proven wrong on that. I was the biggest Shane backer for years, and then whenever I've seen him in charge, I'm now converted. I'm of the opinion that no, the apple fell way too far from the tree. There is, you know, I thought he would have Vince's grand, you know, spectacle ideas with some more, you know, rooted. And
it comes across as Shane thinks that, well, I was born into this, so I just have it. He was too worried about doing the high spots and all that stuff instead of learning the business the way he should have learned it. And while he was doing that, Triple H said, all right, I'll slide right in and I'll start learning what I can.
Well, Triple H slid into a few more things than just Shane's spot, but we'll leave that for another day.
Smart man.
He married the princess, but now I think it's more than likely going to be the princess taking over, and I will take.
I would assume so. The difference is, though, Triple H will get brought. If Stephanie does take over the company, she will bring Triple H in the backstage role. But I think it's going to go to Nick Khan.
As much as I hate Hunter's booking, I will take his booking over Stephanie's hands being involved with anything any day of the week. I don't think.
Yeah, but Stephanie's business head's amazing. As far as running the company, she'd be absolutely fine.
As long as she's doing the day-to-day business operations and not the actual product.
No, that's what I mean. I think she'd bring Triple H in to do Vince's job.
Well, yeah, keep her
in
out
that
of
position.
wrestling, keep her away from a microphone, and keep her off camera.
And then allow
I'd be
Triple H,
just fine with that.
allow Triple H to bring in whoever he feels necessary to help him.
Yep.
And you could have a good point, Jimmy, because let's just say Vince kicks the bucket whenever. Stephanie takes over, brings Hunter in, but takes the handcuffs off of him to a degree. I could completely change my mind on Hunter as a booker. It could.
The handcuffs will always be
possible.
there. The handcuffs will always be there because of the board.
Yep.
They're publicly
That's
traded.
why
Publicly
you
traded
keep your
company.
company public, because
Yeah.
then other people have a say over what you do.
So it's never going to be handcuffs completely off. But again, like I said, when Triple H booked, when he was in charge of that SmackDown and set up that Survivor Series in 2019, which was beautiful, that was all Triple H, and it
Yep.
was the best Survivor Series we've had
In about 10 years.
I can't even tell you.
Hunter's had some good moments. I'm not saying he hasn't had some moments that I was like, man, that was great. I love that. But there's been so many of those just want to jab ice picks in my eyeballs and forget what I just saw.
Yeah, they did.
It's like the bad
Jonah
outweighs
Road
the
Dogg
good.
with great backup agents.
I think what happened, like you said, I think Nick Khan is the guy that gets control. I think that's what happened.
So do I. He's proven too much of a business head. Vince loves a man with a good business head.
I know it was just a rumor, but I loved it. It was earlier this year, I think, about The Rock finding business people to end up making the purchase. I wouldn't even be against that. I think that would be a better option than Nick Khan being the one that takes over. Even though he'd probably be one of the buyers, as long as The Rock was attached to it, I think that might be a saving grace. But it's such a highly unlikely thing.
It's highly unlikely, but you can see The Rock buying WWE at some point. Quite easily. And it's not like he can't afford it.
Derek Jeter bought the Marlins, so
if Vince was going to sell, I think he'd be much more reluctant to sell it to The Rock than anybody else. Just for the simple fact that he watched him go from nothing to superstar to megastar to now this entrepreneurial genius that resembles Vince to a sense. And he could basically give his baby to someone and know
with
that
the same drive, with the same.
Yes.
Well, The Rock's got the same drive and the same passion for what he does that Vince has for sports entertainment.
Roman's in the ring with Riddle right now. I kind of want to see what happens here.
Well, Riddle's going to sell. that's just going to happen here.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but he may get a spot or two in.
When Riddle was in NXT, I despised him because his selling was shit. I said, man, if he could ever learn to sell, man, I would love this dude so much. And it's like he came to SmackDown overnight and was like, oh, I know how to sell.
Oh, dude, no, he's always known how to sell. It's just Triple H didn't want him to sell in NXT.
That makes sense.
Because, I was very lucky. I got to go to Progress's Wembley show where he had his last indie match.
Yeah.
And even in the seats we were in, that guy, he just gets it.
Yeah, he gets it.
He gets it. And you can't say that about every professional wrestler, but Riddle just gets it.
I love that he got paired with Randy because Randy's going to he's taught him all the little things that you don't get. You have to learn from somebody. So the matching was so perfect.
Like Cody Rhodes has been saying for weeks now as well, Randy's a fantastic mentor.
Yeah.
Because he'll tell you straight up, honestly, everything that you need to hear. And that's exactly what you need in professional wrestling. No sugarcoating.
The best mentors I ever had in anything I ever tried were the ones that didn't sugarcoat it, told me when I sucked, and, verbally smacked me in the face.
Yeah.
And like, dude, you suck. Stop doing that. Start doing this. And
that's right, Timmy. Timmy knows what's up. He knows what I'm about. He remembers.
Do not question the king.
Don't.
No.
You don't have to tell me when I'm wrong either. I'll let you know when I'm wrong.
So I'll let you know when you're wrong, Jimmy.
She's over here trying to laugh at me.
Well, even the king has to have his jester.
Bro, I want them to just go crazy here with this match. I want Riddle to pin Roman.
It's not going to happen, but that would be amazing.
World on fire, dude.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Look, he's tagging man. Let Riddle pin him. That'd be crazy.
If Riddle got the fall over Reigns, those 5 or 10 people there in Providence, Rhode Island would go nuts.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of sad that I know why they did it, but I would have liked to have seen this have been RK Bro and Usos to unify the belt.
I think that still could happen.
Oh!
By the way, what I do love what they're doing in this match is holding off on Randy's hot tag.
Oh yeah, they need to.
Oh, yeah.
They are holding off on every time Randy's on the apron, he goes for a tag, one of the Usos knocks him off the apron.
Second best hot tag in the business, baby.
Yeah, after
Johnny Hungy, baby.
I would have said Nick Jackson. I know.
Mute him, Alex. Mute him.
Never mind, mute him.
Johnny Hungy is almost like Cesaro, except for he's like a little wrecking ball.
Yeah,
Like,
no, he does have an amazing hot tag.
And it's so beautiful to watch. Because Cesaro used to be the best hot tag. Because that dude would be insane with what he was doing.
Hey, when he was teaming with Tyson Kidd, duh.
You get him in a multi-man tag match. Oh,
yeah.
Possibly a SummerSlam preview right here. I always knew McIntyre was a big dude, but
6'6", man.
Him next to Reigns. I mean, Reigns is no big.
I got a friend called Andy who's the same height as Drew McIntyre. I'm 6 foot tall. I feel friggin' tiny when I'm stood next to him.
Like, I knew McIntyre was big, but like, good God, the fact he was, nose to brow with Reigns and he was standing up, I was like, wow.
I think the thing with Drew is we kind of still remember him from before, where he was like a toothpick, so that height didn't go with the size.
Yeah,
now he's got that. He's like,
Superman
that's
punch.
A big ass dude.
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
I would not want to upset him. He is a very large man.
Yeah. And if he's yelling at you with that Scottish accent, that's terrifying.
Well, also the fact
I'm
he
running.
has that big ass sword.
I got a sword for him. I'm not worried about that. That's what she
said.
said.
Yeah. I tell you what, King. You stand right there with Mac in front of McIntyre with his sword. I'm going to go and get a cup of coffee.
All right.
Have fun, my friend.
I got my, it was a Kimberly Hart and Kelly Kapowski for him. I got 2 of them. He don't stand a chance.
Kelly Kapowski. No, well, I don't know. Kelly Kapowski had built-in life preservers, so maybe that'll help you. So who knows? I'm actually kind of surprised we've seen as much of Roman as we have in this match, considering he's still not.
I'm surprised they're showing as much as Drew and Roman in this match together.
Yeah.
I mean, Roman is your top guy without question. You don't want to risk his health whatsoever.
But you want to protect that big match though too.
Yeah.
And
again, that's why I'm surprised they made this move. I mean, I think you could have fit him in somehow, sans, I don't know.
I think you do this match, you just keep Drew and Roman completely away from each other. That's the way they should have done.
Well, Andy wants him some Roman.
Claymore out nowhere, boys.
Here it comes.
Here comes the hot tag.
She's over here jumping up and down. Look at Riddle on the ground. He's like, "Go get him, Randy!"
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
There's the tags.
Here it comes.
Oh.
Here comes the next one. We the ones.
Ooh.
Oops, flying.
Man, Randy's work is just so crisp. Now if we can just get him to lose the porn stash.
He is so good.
He's about to get a Superman punch.
Yeah, but he is so good. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize just how good Randy Orton is.
They don't.
Like, he's so good. He's like Jake Roberts. That's how good he is.
They'll remember it in a few years when he's gone.
Yeah.
Boom. What?
That was sick.
Oh!
Out of nowhere.
What?
And he took it like Kane. He took it like Kane.
1, 2. Oh! Uso makes the save.
Who takes the loss here?
Jimmy.
I'm not taking the loss.
If the Bloodline are winning, Jimmy. Sorry, losing.
Winning.
It's got to be Riddle.
Don't do that. Don't do
It's
that.
it's got to be Riddle that gets pinned.
Oh! Double super kick. And now McIntyre's rolling out. So that
Let's
leaves
go,
2
Riddle.
on RKO. Oh, Riddle's on the apron. Hot tag to Riddle. Come on. Tag him in. Place is going to explode if he tags in ready. Boom! Here we go. Riddle's in.
You mean Riddle? He has to hold on to the rope on the outside. If you're named W, you can just
Nice exploder suplex.
But there's a rope on the end. They have to be able to hold on to the rope.
The tag rope.
The tag rope, yeah. You can see it hanging over there. Look at this man go.
He's damn good.
Pittsburgh plunge. Wasn't a suplex, it was a fisherman's
Look,
buster.
it's so fluid. He just goes.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh.
I think he just does it because I think it's cute.
Oh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Olive green.
Riddle is going Riddle.
Well, this match is delivered so far. Like, way delivered.
This pay-per-view isn't going to be any good.
Oh, the card.
Me and Andy said last night, this card had a lot of potential.
Yeah, the card
As
is
I-
too good for it to suck.
As I said, they didn't worry about the story so much, so we were going to get Wrestle Heavy tonight, and that's exactly what we got. It's like Vince just said, "Hey guys, just go give me a show."
Yeah.
Well, surprise, surprise. Keep it all.
They are
in the
delivering.
ring. Had a great show.
Let's go.
Bandy battering Jimmy Uso. Suplex onto the ring.
And the Viper is getting vicious. Deadly. Oh, Superman punch.
Get out of here, Roman. No.
Uh-oh. Drew's back. And into
There's a table there. Vince must be so glad they only use those tiny little monitors now. Doesn't have to replace a 10-gram monitor every time they break a table.
Look at that little feet. You see him in the stands.
I do. I'm Ninja Fiend.
You see the little kid dressed as the Fiend.
I see it, yeah.
It's classic.
We're talking about a guy they just screwed over beyond belief, Bray Wyatt.
They didn't screw Bray at all. Bray got to be very creative and do a hell of a lot of stuff. Then they couldn't come to a financial agreement. They were already paying him $4 million a year and he wanted more money. They wanted to cut his pay. They couldn't give him a financial agreement, so they released him.
I was really hoping he was going to turn that into RKO.
Well, no, here was the thing. They had a great thing with Bray before they went to the Firefly Funhouse.
Was amazing.
Nonsense.
They had a good thing with Bray until they let Goldberg beat him. No,
Yeah.
I'll take it a step back. Until they put the title on him. That was the moment Fiend was
I'll
dead.
go you one further. They should have had him go over Taker.
As Bray, I agree. But
And
if we're
made
talking
him
about
the new, like-
talking about the Fiend would have worked had they never put the title on him.
He should never have been near the title picture.
No.
That character doesn't need a championship.
It didn't make any sense.
Top rope RKO. Top rope RKO. Spear. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Oh, Roman's in.
As
Spear.
predicted. Happy days.
Riddle's done.
I got everything right except AJ.
Damn.
You really are gutted, aren't you?
My boy Riddle almost did it.
I told you he was going to take the pin.
I'm okay with him taking the pin to Roman, though.
Yeah, it's Roman.
That's big league. That's big league.
Yeah.
5 for 6. I'm good. I did good.
4 for 6. You picked AJ.
That's the only one I lost.
Yeah, but you also picked RK Bro.
No, I picked Bloodline.
Oh, okay.
Go check size
That's
post. I wanted
No, I
Riddle to
agree.
win. Who I want to win and who I picked to win are always going to be different.
You see, it's always the case with me except with AJ Styles. Because I always want AJ Styles to win, and I always pick AJ Styles to win.
About 10 years ago, I had a bad betting problem because I would always pick who I wanted to win. And it did not work for me at all. So now it's I'll pick the smart way, and then I'll just root the other way. If I lose, I lose. I don't care.
I think my problem is I just love heels too much, and I just always want to see the heels win. It's a failing that I have.
Riddle to win.
That was a cracking match. Good show.
Yeah,
And
Good show.
back to the point I was making earlier about less is more. This pay-per-view would not have been as good if they let them wrestle like this every pay-per-view. And that's why I say less is
Agreed.
more.
Agreed.
You give me 2 of these pay-per-views a year and give me the rest how they do it, I'm good.
Yeah.
see, I like what I like. I like.
No,
seeing,
I'm not
you know,
knocking it. I will never hate on someone for liking what they like. I applaud it. I want people to really enjoy what they. If you're passionate about it, enjoy it. I love it. I love when people enjoy things. When people are hating on other people for enjoying what they enjoy, that's where I'm like, what's the point of that? There's no point in that.
There isn't.
If you think it's
Tribalism
bad-
has no place in wrestling.
If you think it's bad, that's cool, but that doesn't mean it is bad.
That's
Like,
just your
that's-
opinion.
Yeah,
Like I've always said, I have a sense of humor. I enjoy Orange Cassidy now and then.
I don't.
I don't mind an Orange Cassidy. I don't mind anything so long as. Normally, I would Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. Normally, I would have hated that, but they did it just right. There's a time and a place for everything. I just wish.
I will go as far as to say Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville was the most entertaining thing on WrestleMania weekend.
Second.
Okay, the
don't
second
you dare.
most entertaining thing.
On the
Second
Stone
most.
Cold,
Sorry.
Steve Austin, Kevin
Second-
Owens match. I will
Second
come
most
through this damn
entertaining
thing.
thing. second most entertaining thing.
There we go.
I must
I'll allow people to have opinions.
bow
That's where
to
I
the king on
that's
that
where
one.
I draw the line.
That was the perfect mix of nostalgia, a good match, great workers. It just worked, and I was like Andy. You know, I was just a kid transformed 20 years plus back in time.
As I was saying to my friend about it, what made that the moment even more just magical, like it was already just the greatest thing I've ever seen. My son has never watched a Stone Cold match in his life. He knows who he is because of me. Never watched a match with him. When Stone Cold came out and the whole thing was happening, he could tell just by what was happening, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And after the whole thing calms down and we're all getting ready and we're like getting into the match, he just looks at me and goes, "Dad." And we embrace in a hug and was like, he gets it. That's the kind of shit that they need more of. I'll agree with that 100%. They don't have enough of it. But that's why I'm telling you right now, Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville doesn't top Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. Doesn't do it. Doesn't do it.
Okay. Here we come. Bree, it doesn't do it. It was the second most
as
entertaining thing.
Tidy just pointed out, as you see right here, Jimmy is a genius. He's smarts and feelings. Tidy knows what's up. Don't disagree with Timmy.
Do not encourage Jimmy. His ego is already too big for the camera. If it gets any bigger, that crown is going to explode off his head. It'll be messy, there'll be blood everywhere.
And I thought I was
everywhere.
a typical guy. My God, how am I going to contend with Jimmy, baby?
Right, anyway, folks, that just about wraps us up for our watch along. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the show.
One last thing before we go. Each of you, what do you think the main event of Hell in a Cell is going to be?
Ooh.
Just to give a preview of our new thing we're going to start doing. We're going to start doing predictions for the next pay-per-views after the main pay-per-views. We're going to have those kind of things. That's going to be something we'll do. So just to give a little teaser into it, let's all predict the main event next month.
Becky Bianca.
I like it.
I think something involving Cody.
Okay. I'm going to double up on Nick. I like that. I think Becky Bianca in the cell. I think that's...
Becky Bianca. One, they haven't had a women's main event. I thought Ronda and Charlotte were going to main event tonight originally, but obviously Roman. But I think you have Becky Bianca in the cell as the main event. Have Roman have his match first on the card, because he always goes on first if he's not on last anyway. And that match deserves a rematch. That was the best match at WrestleMania.
And the women's matches in the cell have been infinitely better than the men's lately. So
yes. Yes. Infinitely better. Sasha versus Becky was 1,000 times better than Randy versus Jeff Hardy.
Edge and Seth last year. That was
a good. That was a good.
That
one.
was
That
the
was a
kickoff
really good
match. So
no, that was good.
There's something to be said.
But they didn't have a women's match in the cell, did they?
Huh?
No, I don't think so. Not in Saudi.
Yeah. No, because it was supposed to be Bianca and Bayley, and it didn't happen.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's why Edge and Seth surpassed it.
That's fine. Right.
But yeah, so there we go. That's the show.
Anyway, boys, that's the show. Thank you so much again for joining us, everybody that has. Please tune in again. Check out WrestleBuddy's website. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's the only way the algorithm really notices, and we'd really appreciate it. So, everybody, this is the part where we wave.
Tune in tomorrow for the Raw recap.
The King.